Day 116, let's go. Alright. Let's turn down a little bit here. Let's get turned down a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. Day 116. We have a lot planned today. You guys can see the goals up on the board. Today, we're going to be focusing on our Stripe integration. So, for those of you that are interested in using Stripe for payment processing inside of a web application, we're going to be building that today inside of BridgeMind. So, as you guys know, with BridgeMind, we are building a vibe coding platform. So, this is the official BridgeMind IDE. I don't know what we're going to end up calling it, but you can see here that I have all of these different workspaces similar to what I typically would have inside of like something like Warp. I also have the ability to be able to have a board here to be able to manage all of the tasks that are happening inside of my application. You can see here, here are the tasks in review. Here are the completed tasks that we've been working on. But we're going to be working on a couple of different things. So for example, today I can just open these up. Here's the knowledge base for this task. And there's a lot that we need to touch on today. And there's a lot that we need to build. But the first thing is going to be that Stripe integration. We're then going to be working on the onboarding flow. So if you actually go over to, BridgeMind.ai, right now we're just in localhost because we're in development. But just like when we click start building, right? So we have a web app, and then we also have a mobile app, and then we also have the Electron app. So there's a lot of moving parts here, but the main thing that we're going to be working on today is we're going to be working on this Stripe integration, this Stripe flow. And sorry, you guys actually just missed what I just showed you. But here is the web app, for example. This is very important. That's the web app. So the web app is going to be similar to, let's say, the Electron app, but the Electron app is where vibe coders are actually going to be able to build, and where you are actually going to be able to, for example, have a workspace to be able to manage your code, launch your agents, etc. And remember, we're reverse engineering my workflow, and we're then taking it a step further. So something that I'm really excited to work on today is also the agent flow. So in today's stream, we're going to make it so that, for example, if you go here, you're going to be able to go to agents, right? And I can click in between these projects. And what's really cool is you can see here that this security agent, API security agent, right? I want to be able to automatically run this just by like clicking a button, right? And it's going to be able to open up a workspace inside of BridgeMind with that agent activated, and it's going to be running it, right? And it's going to be able to create tasks. It's going to be able to manage tasks. It's going to be able to do everything that we need. But those are the main things that we're going to be working on today. Also, you guys can already see it up on the screen here, but for every like, I'm gonna do +1 curl. Now, what actually is a curl? Well, check this out, guys. We got a new prop on the stream today. You guys see this? These are 20-pound dumbbells. We've never done these before. So for every like, it's +1 curl. So 1 curl is, this is 1 curl. Boom, 1 curl. I think yesterday, oh my gosh. Yesterday on stream, I had to do like 617 push-ups because you guys did 617 likes. It was crazy. But I'm excited to grind today. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. Let me pull up the chat. All right, also a big shout out to Max, who's one of our moderators. He just pinged the Discord. I appreciate you, Max. All right, let's see here. So everybody, Vodidel was first. What's up? What's going on? Backstory Bites, how's it going, man? Maras said, big fan. Thank you, Maras. Good to see you again. Malay said, get motivated to work whenever you start the stream. It feels like I have someone who I can work alongside with the stretch for the stream for 6 hours. Let's go, man. Shout out to you, Malay. Let's go, man. So I feel really good so far about this project. Last night in the Vibe Coding No Talking stream, we got a ton done. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Like, for example, the workspaces here. Let me just CD into, desktop and then BridgeMind. But what I want to show you guys is yesterday during the No Talking stream, I was finally able to crack getting these panes to split vertically. So like you can see here now, we finally have it working so that we can split a ton of panes. This actually was a little bit more difficult than I expected, but now, we have a similar workflow to Warp where I can manage all of these panes inside of this BridgeMind IDE. So it's really cool, but I'm really excited to take this a step further now and be able to integrate, some of the logic of these tasks. Like, for example, we're gonna add in some additional UI where I'm able to click a button, for example, on this task, and it'll be able to open up a new workspace with that task as the title, and we'll get into that in a second. But let me do a couple things on my end to actually get the stream started. Also, Yusuf's, how's it going? Des Royce, how's it going? I Edit said, love the energy, 1 million coming soon. Let's go, man. Let's go. Dev Mindset, what's up? Alex, what's up, man? He said, how much you spend for the AI tools monthly? Yeah, so there's actually been a little bit of an update for that. So it used to be $600 because I used to have the Cursor Ultra plan, then the ChatGPT Pro plan, and then also Claude Max. but I actually have now been able to cut my costs back because I just don't need the ChatGPT Pro plan or the Cursor Ultra plan anymore. Claude Code is so good and you get so much usage out of Opus 4.5 that I only really need that plan. So what I did was I kept my Cursor subscription. I kind of worked that back to the $60 a month plan, and then the ChatGPT plan I moved just to Plus. So I'm going for $200 to $20 a month. So this project's coming really along really well. I feel good about it. Let me do a couple things on my end to actually get the stream up and running. But we're gonna get started here on those goals. First thing is definitely gonna be that Stripe subscription. So I just wanna show you guys, like, hey, Stripe subscriptions are, I mean, you guys know like how difficult they are. I mean, you have to set up webhooks, you have to do some configuration, but one thing that I've decided against is, for example, like, let me just sign out real quick. Let me sign out. Can I? Okay, cool. All right, cool. So let me go here. When I do start building, right, this is the sign-in screen. I don't want users to have to choose their plan and go through an onboarding flow on initial sign up. I think that, like, one thing that I learned from building ViewCreator is I don't like it when the sign up process is super complex. I want to make it super simple. I want to make it so they just have to put in their email and password, or they can just sign up with Google and Apple. And like, I'll tell you one interesting nuance is, for example, like, hey, if you add in the logic where, like, let's say, you know, if we go to the pricing page, here's the pricing for BridgeMind, which this we just created with AI, it's going to change. But, you know, if we look at this, you can see that there's a pro plan and then a free plan. I just wanted to make it so that it's the default, so that when you start building, it's just the free plan, right? When you sign up, it's just gonna be the free plan. And then there's gonna be entitlements and guards that make it so you can't use specific features unless you actually upgrade. But having people upgrade immediately on sign up sometimes just isn't really needed, in my opinion. And it makes the sign up process much simpler to just have it be that. So, Real Vid said, how many hours do I sleep daily? I get about 8 hours of sleep. I'm pretty serious about my sleep. But let me do a couple things on my end, guys, and we'll get started. Alex, how's it going, man? All right, doing a couple things. Let me get the Discord set up and pinned. Max, you're still using Kimmy K2? All right, there we go. All right, so one thing that's really cool is that, you know, I'm able to cut my costs back now, but I'm back to the 5 a.m. wake up grind. I've been up since 5 a.m. this morning. I've been able to work out. I've been able to get some work done already. I've been, you know, active in the Discord, messaging some people, and it's just nice to do that. You know, somebody asked, you know, how many hours do I get a night? It's less about, like, I think that getting 7 to 8 hours is good. But also, like, something for me personally is that I have to be waking up at 5 a.m. because if I don't, like, waking up early is a great opportunity for you to be able to, like, kind of seize the day, if that makes sense. That may sound cliche, but there is so much truth in it that, like, hey, for example, if I wake up at 8 a.m., and then I have to go live at 10, I'm, like, scrambling, right? So even though that 8 a.m. may be early for some people, or you know, even 7 would be cutting it for me, honestly. So you guys can see Warp here. So we're gonna use Warp because the problem is I would be using the BridgeMind Electron application, but the issue is that we're actually gonna be working on it. So once we're working with it, it's gonna be refreshing and stuff, so we're gonna lose all of our state. But you can see here that, you know, we're doing a pretty good job so far, just in terms of, you know, how things are turning out. We got the split panes working, we got all that working. I feel good about it. But let's now open up Warp. And let's start to get some tasks launched. So just launch Claude here, and let's launch 3. I want to do 3 Claude windows here. 3 is pretty good. You can do more as they come up, but just 3 to get started is good. Yeah, every like that I get, I'm gonna do an extra curl. Yes, you can use AI to create a website very easily. A static website is so easy to build with AI. When you start to integrate, you know, backend, DevOps, databases, that's when it gets a little bit more complex, but that's possible as well. More than possible. It's like, if you're a developer, you can easily do that. If you're very new to programming, it may be a little bit more challenging, but yes, you can create a website not knowing how to code and just using AI. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is I do want to take a look at the API, and I also want to take a look at the database, and I want to, so I'm going to do this. I need you to do an in-depth review of both of these projects, and I want you to think in-depth about webhooks and how they will work with our user subscription table. I need to make sure that when users are updating, canceling, or doing things with their subscription, that there are webhooks that are set up properly to handle different changes that are happening in the user's Stripe account. Review this in complete depth. Launch 3 sub-agents. Some of them should search documentation. Some of them should review. Also, the issue with this is I would like to set up the Stripe MCP for this. So one thing with Stripe is whenever you're doing a Stripe integration, you know, let's check my MCPs. What do I have? So I know I have Stripe. I mean, I actually may want to use, I think that Cursor does a really good job with this, with their IDE, because, for example, I'm able to much easier. I mean, it's just easier for me to be able to manage my MCP servers. So, for example, you guys can see my different MCP servers here. So you can see I have Sentry, Stripe, and here what you're seeing is like, here, let me hide my face cam for a second. Look at this. So you can see Stripe needs authentication, just like this here, the ability to just click connect and connect it with my Stripe account rather than having to like, for example, let's say I have to, you know, there's no button for me to just click connect inside of Claude. So it's now giving me a, let me authorize this real quick, and then we'll have this connected. But look how easy this is, guys. Hold on. I don't want to like expose any codes because it is basically my bank. So, but look at this. Cursor would like access to your Stripe account. By continuing, you allow Cursor to use your Stripe data in accordance with their terms and service privacy policy. So super, super easy to be able to do that. I really like it. It's very easy, and this will give access. This will even let you like create products and stuff, which is incredible. Enable for this account. And now I'm going to do write permissions on all. So I'm going to open Cursor, and Stripe is now connected, and we have the tools that it needs. So perfect. So I'm actually going to give this prompt, instead of using it in Claude Code, I'm actually going to give this to Cursor, because I think that Cursor is going to be able to do a better job. Now, I am going to use Opus 4.5 for it. I think I'm at the very end of my, hold on, let's actually check this out real quick. I want to check this. Let's check out Cursor and check my usage. I believe that I'm on, I'll show it to you guys in a second, but billing and invoices. Okay. All right, yeah, so check this out. So like I said, I downgraded my plan this month. Yeah, and this is why I downgraded my plan. I'm barely getting any usage this month for my plan. I mean, check this out. And let's move the desk up just so we can get the energy flowing. If you guys have not already liked the stream or subscribed, make sure you do so. All right, let's see here. The Stripe plugin from the marketplace is really good. Live WebSocket for MCP as bridge to chat with CLI and vice versa in the application. Input via application. Stream duration, not sure yet. We're gonna play it by ear today. But you know, that's the cool part, is that, you know, I have a lot going on. But what's cool is I genuinely just enjoy streaming and doing this stuff. So all right, so your plan will downgrade. So tomorrow, so that means we have this max plan. So this is actually going to be an interesting challenge. So you guys can see this plan here expires tomorrow, and I have about $300 in usage that's going to be included in my Ultra plan. Usually you get about $500 worth of usage out of a Cursor Ultra plan. So that means that we have $300 that we can actually spend today for free. So we may want to, you know, do that and make it so that we actually get just a ton of usage out of our Cursor Ultra plan, because it resets tomorrow. Tomorrow we get downgraded, so today is the last day of our Ultra plan, so we may want to do that and get that set up. Okay, so some of them should review. Some of them should, okay, so we don't want to launch the sub-agents because that's not even a thing. I want you to use the Stripe MCP to be able to review documentation, to search the internet and find best practices, and I want you to review the existing code in the API and help me construct a good webhook and logic for this that properly connects with our database architecture. Note that we are solely focusing on the 2 plans. We have a free plan and a pro plan. We are focusing on these particularly right now. I don't want to worry about any other subscriptions at the moment. Okay, so very easy. Okay, so somebody in chat said, so I started coding on OpenCode as your advice and started a project using GLN 4.7, but after a lot of prompts, the model is giving bad results and crashing my Mac by like using 60 gigs of memory. I mean, yeah, so OpenCode, so here's my perspective on OpenCode. You know, I was using it this morning as well. I had a, I had like some issues today. I was trying what is it, Cerebra, and I was trying to vibe code using Cerebra. And I was using GLM 4.7 because in Cerebra, you can basically get that model. It's over 1,000 tokens per second, but the issue is that you run into a ton of rate limiting. OpenCode is not the best vibe coding tool. OpenCode is a vibe coding tool. So I will give OpenCode the stamp of approval because I think it's a great CLI tool for people that are on a budget that, you know, for example, you need to use free tools like GLM 4.7 or Minimax M2.1 or Big Pickle, etc. But the thing is that, hey, with vibe coding tools, you get what you pay for, okay? So I personally, you guys are not gonna see me using OpenCode in my main vibe coding workflow. You're just not gonna see it. And the reason you're not gonna see it is because it's a free crappy tool, right? But the thing is that there are a lot of people that are on a budget that need help, that want to get into vibe coding, and that is a great tool for those people. Now I'm a person that I will go as far to say, like, literally, if you can't afford AI, go get a job and like put all of the money that you make from the job into using vibe coding and using AI. Like, that's my perspective. I would say, like, literally, I'm a believer in use the tools, and literally, if you don't have the money, go get a job so that you can afford enough AI usage. I'm not even kidding. Like, go get a job so that you can pay for Claude Code. It's worth it. Like, it is worth your time. Excuse me. Okay, so let's go over here. Another thing that I want to do, since we have this Cursor Ultra plan for one more day, we need to spend $300 today in this stream. I want you to do an in-depth review of this website and review all of the different pages and make sure that every single page has an SEO title tag, keyword tag, and description tag, as well as the correct canonical URL. All right. Yeah, I heard that they basically ripped. Yeah, they did block. So if you guys saw that, I actually think that Claude Code, they put out, or Anthropic, they actually put out a tweet about this. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they put something out about. Let's see here. Also Linux, thank you, bro. Shout out to Linux. All right, so let's go over to Anthropic here, and I believe that they put something out, or maybe they didn't put something out, but somebody from their team put something out that basically said, okay, is it this? I think it's this here. Because the system harnesses internal activations already happening within a model, and okay, no, they didn't say that. I know somebody from their, where did I see it? I saw it on X today. Where was I even seeing it? I don't know where I saw it, but there was a tweet from somebody from the Anthropic team that did mention basically like, hey, by the way, we didn't want internal harnesses. Like, we're now making it so that you can't use the Claude Code harness, you know, which is crazy. That changes a lot because you can no longer even use that, which is crazy. But, you know, that's the thing that people are gonna have to deal with. So let's launch another agent. And now what I want to do is I want to build out the testing suite. I need you to review the API and help me build out a very good testing suite, review all modules and all logic right now, and help me build out a thorough testing suite. So let's see here. The state of the app after 116 days is absolutely ridiculous. How can you be that delusional? Okay. So for those of you that don't know, if you're new around here, so let me show you. In the last 116 days, we've built a product called ViewCreator, and ViewCreator is what's generating our revenue. So if you guys are new, you may not know about this, but ViewCreator.ai has thousands of users. It's close to $1,000 MRR, and yeah, I mean, it's grossing revenue every single day. It's great. I use it for my own purposes. So for example, let me go over to the creator dashboard. So this is the creator dashboard in ViewCreator, and what you're gonna be able to see, so this is what we were working on from day 20 to day, I guess, like 112. And this product is now like completely built and shipped and generating revenue. So for example, like I'll even show you one really good use case. So let's go to the video manager and let's go over to this stream that you guys are watching right now. So here's the stream. You can see it has 46 likes, 262 views. And what I want to do is I want to add tags, right? So I can just click suggest tags, and it's going to be able to generate tags for me. Vibe coding, app development, build an app, BridgeMind platform, coding journey, make money, coding for revenue, app monetization. So it's able to create a bunch of tags for me, which is perfect. And then I can change the category to science and technology, and I can change the playlist to the correct playlist. And that just right there that you guys saw, this is boosting my views by probably about like 3,000 immediately, just for SEO purposes, putting it in the correct category, putting it in the correct playlist. That helps a lot. So that's one thing that I use ViewCreator for. I also use ViewCreator for all of my thumbnails. So for example, if I go to the thumbnails here, you can see that even like this thumbnail that I use for this video in my channel, this is how I generated the thumbnail. This is probably one of the best thumbnail generators. Even for the video yesterday, I used that there. Also, the best thing about ViewCreator is the agents. So for example, the BridgeMind agent, I have this agent running 6 times per day, and I'm able to do clipping, right? So you can go to my history here, and I'm able to generate these AI clips. Those are 16 by 9. Let's find some good, like, So 9x16 here. So you can see I generate my clips for my channel using ViewCreator. And what's cool is that agent is able to wake up 6 times a day and go into my content bank where all of that content is actually hosted. So if I go to BridgeMind here and go to my content bank, here's all of that content. And you can see that all of those videos, all I have to do is literally put them in my content bank, and then the agents are able to wake up whenever I schedule them to wake up, and they're able to actually go into my content bank, grab a video that hasn't been posted, and then post them on my channel. So this actually generates about 50,000 views for me every 24 to 48 hours. So this is a great tool that I use. If you are a creator or somebody that's trying to promote marketing or use, this strategy, ViewCreator is probably one of the leading agentic marketing tools on the market right now. I would highly suggest that you get a subscription. I use it to promote BridgeMind, and it's a fantastic tool. It is now the virality engine backing BridgeMind. So just for whoever said that comment, if you're new here, welcome. We are now working on BridgeMind, which is a vibe coding platform. So BridgeMind, obviously, this is our community, and the brand is evolving. And right now, what we're working on is I'm reverse engineering my vibe coding workflow. And what I'm doing is I'm building an agentic coding tool. And you guys are going to be able to see me build this out. And today, we're just working on the Stripe integration and some of the onboarding. But I think that our plan is to ship this relatively quickly, like by the end of January would be great, because this will probably generate significant revenue. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a great project. It's going to help us build a tool that we have control over, that we can update, that we can use in our flow. But really excited to see that come to fruition. Let's see here. Arian, what's up, man? He said, I'm also vibe coding. You just pop up. Let's go. Yeah, so that right now I'm building out the test suite right now. And like I said, I'm using the Cursor Ultra plan, and that expires tomorrow. And I have not gotten all of the usage out of it. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I actually get that set up. So let's see here. This is what it said. Immediate action items based on the review. Here's what I recommend implementing first for the free pro subscription model. So the priority must have add invoice payment succeeded handler. Ensures subscription status is properly synced after successful payment. Wire up payment failure template. Send email when payment fails. Currently just logged. Enhance customer subscription updated. Detect status transitions and send appropriate emails. Add customer subscription trial will end handler. Send trial ending reminder. Oh, nice. So that's actually doing a pretty good job. The question is, can we make it so that that's native? Or do we have to handle that with SendGrid? I'm not sure. Carter Sora, what's up, man? How's it going? I use Whisperflow for the voice. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm building, so if you have missed this, I am building an agent tool. We'll get into that later in the stream. Right now we're building out some tests. We're building out looks like okay. Okay, good. Review all of the pages, and I need you to create a CSV file with the keywords that are targeted on the website for SEO purposes. Actually not a CSV, make a TXT file that is just line over line all the keywords that are being, consistently used on the site. So I'm gonna significantly improve SEO today as well, and it's gonna be very easy to do that. But we wanna use Cursor because we basically have $300 worth of subscription usage. Also, how many likes are we at? We'll hit some curls here. For every like, it's plus 1 curl. So we're at 57 likes, so let's hit some curls. The dumbbells, guys, the dumbbells are a new prop. Did you guys see these? I got dumbbells, they're 20 pounds, and so every like that we get, I'm gonna do a curl. So you guys know how it is. Yesterday we did like 617 push-ups on stream. So yeah, I mean, we got 58 of them to go. So 1, 2, 3. I like this a little bit better because I'm able to actually watch the agent as it's working. All right, let's go. Here's 20. Ira 20. All right, Stripe integration is gonna be important. I don't know how I feel about this here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm more so, yeah, Create a structured plan for the implementation. So I'm gonna create a plan first and then we'll move forward, but let's create a plan first. TNK Sounds, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah, I mean, Cursor, in my opinion, used to be the best vibe coding tool. There's still a lot of cases where I think it's like definitely up there, but Claude Code has just gotten so far out ahead with the ability to launch sub agents that, you know, it's just that Cursor, it's still, Cursor's up there. Cursor's definitely up there, but Claude Code is now number one in my opinion. I got 96 gigs of RAM at Archie. Swinging going to her back. I didn't think I was swinging. It's 20 pounds, so. All right, SEO keywords. So here are the keywords, and this is a great way to be able to manage your keywords. So what we're gonna be able to do here is you can see that it made a list of 86 keywords for this, right? And what I'm gonna be able to do is, I believe that I still have my SEMrush subscription. So if you guys are familiar with SEMrush, so SEMrush is basically like an SEO tool for Google. It's a great tool. Okay, I think that let me log in here. I think I still have like a pro plan, so. Thank you, Carter, appreciate it. Also, Max, shout out to you. Thank you for your help today. Yeah, we are changing up, just for all of our mod team on Discord, we are changing up our Discord mod team a little bit. For people that may have been inactive or not really participating in their mod roles, our mod team on Discord is going to transition to a paid mod team. So for example, for like junior mods, they're gonna get paid X amount. Mods are gonna get paid X amount per week. You know, our admins are going to get paid X amount. That's the direction I would like to take it. And because we're going to have a paid team, you know, we're just going to start taking it a little bit more serious. But check this out, guys. So this is SEMrush. And what I'm able to do is, for example, I can go and I can do a couple different things, right? So the first thing I can do is I can launch ChatGPT, which ChatGPT kind of stinks. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to really use it. It's so bad. Yeah, let's not use it. It gives me the ick. It's so slow. So let's just use Claude, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop this in here, and I'm gonna say, this is a list of all of the keywords that were being used in a site. I want you to review this, and I want you to output a list of an additional 100 keywords that I could integrate into the site. So a lot of these are like keywords, and when I say keywords, I mean long tail keywords that are associated with the company and the field. I use AWS for hosting. GM, I use AWS. So we'll be working on that in the background. Just know that's a thing. This is still generating the test there. This one here, we have this on Max, right? Okay, perfect. All right, so prompt engineering, all this stuff. Yeah. Okay. Testing, Stripe subscription. So here is the to-dos. Here's the plan there. Let's go to this. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be fine. Okay, here, website overview. I don't really like that. I think that our SEO can definitely be bumped up a notch. Oh yeah, open code with open source. I mean, I think that I don't know why you would be too upset about, you know, Anthropic killing the open code integration, because why would you if, for example, I mean, you know, your Claude Code subscription is going to be better inside of Claude Code, if that makes sense. So Adar said, I want to be a new mod. Yeah, if you're going to, so we are going to be building like out an application. So it's going to be an application process. We're just going to take that a little bit more serious because our community is growing rapidly. This is now the fastest growing vibe coding community on the internet. And our Discord community is getting close to over 3,000 members. So, you know, I think that what I want to do is I just want, hey, people on our team, it's incredibly important. Like, big shout out to the mods in chat today, like Max, Carter. You know, it's just like, hey, for you guys to know that, hey, you guys being in chat, you guys helping out, you guys doing modding and stuff, it actually does help a lot more than you would think. So, you know, I definitely want to reward the people that are engaged and active in the community, and ultimately, like, there are going to be opportunities down the road for people that are in the community and are active, engaged. Okay, so let's go here, API testing. This is building out our testing suite, which is good. We didn't have a testing suite prior to this. So what's nice is because we have $300 worth of usage, we can just use a ton of Opus 4.5 Max today, which is great. Why am I not building an iOS and Android app? So I actually am. So for example, I'll show you the Android app right now, or the iOS and Android app. So let's actually pull that up so I can just show you guys what's being worked on. So let's pull this up here, and let's CD into BridgeMind app. And hold on here. Let's CD into BridgeMind app. Sorry, keep spelling it wrong. There we go. Thank you, Warp. So let's run npm expo start, and hold up here. npm run expo start. What is the command? What in the world? All right, hold on here. I'm in BridgeMind app. What is the command to start the app in Expo? J35, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Channel, what's up, man? Yes, I am a vibe coder. I don't think it's npm run start. I'm pretty sure, is it? I thought it was Expo start. I guess it's start now. Okay, so check this out. So yeah, so I can open this in the iOS similar, and I think that this may like stop the music. I'm pretty sure that there's like an issue with that. But here, let's just launch it and we'll see. So this is gonna launch the simulator on my phone, so it's gonna open up the sim, and you guys are gonna be able to see, or not. Hold on here. Oh, I know why this is happening. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's pull up an actual terminal here. Let's pull up terminal, and let's CD into that project. So CD desktop, CD BridgeMind, CD BridgeMind app, and let's run npm run start here, and then we'll be able to open this up. There we go. Yeah, 2026 is the year of BridgeMind. Okay, so here it is. Here's what it looks like, and right now it looks terrible. This actually looked better. I don't know what happened. Did my music? Okay, my music's not killed. Maybe we could just work on the styling of this a little bit. But this is going to be a very important application because you're basically going to be able to manage your projects from this app, right? So while we're working on it, let's use some of these agents to actually update this. So let's go to BridgeMind app, and I need you to review the screenshot. For some reason, the styling is all messed up. Okay, let's drop this in here. I need you to update the styling so that sign in and create account are actual buttons. Also, make sure the native wind is actually properly functioning. The sign in and create account should be centered and be buttons with the respective correct theme of BridgeMind. Where is your Xcode to launch VM on iPhone? I just use Expo. Expo makes it very, very easily to run simulators and stuff. So we'll launch that one as well. We're gonna be working on a lot of stuff at the same time. So if you guys are into this agentic coding, you guys will understand kind of like what's going on. But we're gonna be working on a ton of stuff at once. So this Stripe subscription, remember that's also working as well. Here is the create table. I don't know how I feel about that. Webhook events. So here is a new. This just got created, and one issue with Cursor that I'm not a huge fan of is that, like, for example, I mean, that's fine. I just made it full screen. Okay, so here is the new table that I just created. So this is using Drizzle, and this table has a Stripe event ID, event type. So this is going to be basically a Webhook events table, which is good for logs. Webhook events, this is that. Good, fine, yes. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's go to the API for testing. That's looking fine. I don't know. We could also get a testing suite running with the UIs. I don't know what I want to do. What do I think about GPT Codex? Is Claude Code way better? Yes, I do think that Claude Code is a lot better. For those of you wondering, I am going to be using Cursor today because I basically have $300 in free usage. So I'm going to be using Cursor to get to the end of my plan. But also, guys, I see that we're at 71 likes, so let's hit some curls. We're up to 20 today. Let's hit them. All right, let's do 25. All right, 25. All right, we're up to 45 curls. Let's go. All right. Also, one thing that's on the board today, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I just wrote on the board today, the phrase of today is to be consistent. You know, pretty self-explanatory there, but you know, it is just very, very important for you guys to be able to be consistent. I think that people have sometimes like a misrepresentation in their minds that like, hey, if you work really hard for like 2 weeks, you'll be able, yes, you will be able to make progress, but like, hey, if you stop working after that 2 weeks, you're not gonna make it very far, right? Like, you have to be willing to work for months and months and even years on end to be successful. Yes, Tanker, we are going to release it. Yeah, so feeling fun. I do have a technical background, but vibe coding is the future of development. More so, you can call it vibe coding, which is, you know, the word, but really a better word for it is agentic coding, in my opinion. I think that's what it'll end up being called, but maybe vibe coding will stick. Why did I choose Stripe over Polar? Stripe is better, in my opinion. Okay. All right, so let's see. So you guys can see here is the updates for the UI. This does not look that good. I do want to update it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have it, I'm going to do BridgeMind UI. And also there's a marketing guide somewhere. Marketing guide. BridgeMind app. I want you to review the marketing guide, and I also want you to look at the theme and styling of BridgeMind UI and then update the home screen of BridgeMind app accordingly. I want it to say build the future in big and bold. Also center the logo respectively. All right, that's gonna look better. I do have a marketing guide, which is nice. Yeah. 100%. 19 CD said it very well. He said, burst behavior, you need to develop a lifestyle instead of treating progress as a task. That's very well said. Like, if you build a lifestyle that supports your mission, I think that is very well said. Like, build a lifestyle that is going to support your mission, and you'll make it pretty far. Build with AI, ship with confidence, cool. Okay, that's going to change to build the future, though. Okay, so let's go over to this one here, the Stripe subscription. How is this looking? Run the migration. I want you to run the migration. Also, we are going to need to create a webhook. Is the MCP able to create the webhook, though? I'm curious. I'm curious if the MCP could create the webhook for us. Are you able to create the webhook for us using the MCP? I want to create the webhook in test mode. Review the Stripe MCP and identify if you are able to create the webhook yourself instead of me having to create it. I wanted you to create it in test mode. Is that even possible? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So can you use the Stripe MCP to create a webhook? This is the first test. I've never done that before. So here are all the tools. Wow. You can see that there's a lot of tools. I don't think that there is one. There is no webhook creation tool. Stripe search documentation. It's going to review it, but it doesn't look like there's an ability to create the webhooks. Is that the BridgeMind terminal? No, it is not. This is Cursor. All right, based on my review, that Stripe MCP does not have a, okay, does not have that. That's fine. Visual layout. I don't care about the visual layout. I just want you to build it. Okay, that's actually, it doesn't look terrible. Code at the speed of thought with AI teammates. Okay, I do not like that. Also, if you guys are watching, have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Does this project not have the normal logo? BridgeMind app. Update the BridgeMind app welcome screen to not use the logo symbol, but the actual BridgeMind white logo. You'll notice it in the BridgeMind UI that it has a BridgeMind white logo. Use that logo in the BridgeMind app welcome screen instead of just the symbol. Burp said Jackson cracked. Let's go. Yeah, Cursor does like to create MD files, so I am using, so usually I'm using Claude Code, usually I'm using, you know, Warp, or now the BridgeMind terminal, or BridgeMind workspace, whatever you want to call it. We'll figure out a good name for it. But I'm going to be using Cursor a ton today because I have a bunch of usage for my Ultra plan that we're just going to be basically taking advantage of. I've got the Cursor Ultra plan for one more day. I'm downgrading because I don't really need it anymore. Claude Code is so good at this point that you just don't really need it. I will say that it is operating pretty well. You know, this here, this is the simulator. It looks decent. I will say you don't need this here. It just can be shrunk a little bit. You can remove this content here, and also you can redesign the page so that it's just a little bit more compact and centered. I don't know. Triax, what's up, man? Orin Dad, what's up, man? How's it going? Veershot asked, what are we working on today? So today we're working on the BridgeMind platforms. We have an Electron app, we have a web app, and we have a mobile app. So you guys are going to kind of see me work on a lot of things at once. Okay, I'm going to drop in the marketing guide. Review the marketing guide and do add some content in that welcome screen that explains what this app is for, so that anybody that's just downloading the app for the first time will know what it's for. Users will be able to manage their tasks and be able to manage the agents that are managing their project inside of this app, but come up with a really good brandable, marketable way of saying that and displaying on the screen so that they know exactly what it's for. I mean, I don't know. It's not that great. No, they do not get in the way of each other. Serena just asked, how do the agents not get in the way? So yeah, it's interesting because like, I think people are just realizing that, hey, with agentic coding, one great part about it is that you're able to launch a ton of different agents at once, right? Like this agent's still working for us. I want you to run the test suite and output a table of all confirming or failing tests. If there are failing tests, make sure you correct them and fix them so that they pass. It looks like they're all passing. It already did that, but we just created a massive test suite basically in one shot with Opus 4.5. It's interesting because sometimes people will be like, what are you even working on, right? But if you're an agentic coder, you know exactly like what's going on, right? It's just that you're able to manage all these tasks at once. Okay, let's go here. Stripe listen. Okay, so I am gonna have to create this webhook. Okay, I'm creating the webhook right now and I need you to walk me through it. Veershot said mission the beach view. I am too, but it didn't work out for us. All right, so let's pull up Stripe, and we're gonna have to create a new webhook in Stripe. So if you guys don't know what Stripe webhooks are, Stripe webhooks are, and I'll just like explain it to you in the use case, right? Like here's one thing you guys should know about me is that I think that the best way to learn is from doing, from building. So all of my experience comes from being able to learn like initially, right, from like AI, but then coming back through and being able to actually build it, right? So webhooks, for example, we have a user subscription table, right? And this user subscription table holds all of the user subscriptions, which will be updated. And the thing is when you're using Stripe, Stripe is handling all of the payment processing and handling, right? So for example, somebody can update their subscription and you need to make sure that not only is that subscription is easily going to be updated inside of Stripe, right? But then you also need to make sure that you update your local database with that updated subscription, right? So to do that, you set up webhooks, which are events. So basically you'll listen to an event, like for example, an event, and let's just list that out. Okay, I'll walk you through it. Be very compact with what you output. Output the list of the different events that I need to search up to put in my webhook. So you guys are going to see this. Stock just asked it, what are we building? So we're building basically an agentic IDE. You guys are going to see it. We're working on a mobile app right now, working on a web app. It's all the BridgeMind. We're basically building BridgeMind, but here, right now, what we're working on is we're working on our Stripe integration. So you can see here are the events that I need to add, right? So checkout session completed, customer subscription created, customer subscription updated, customer subscription deleted. So those are all self-explanatory, right? But those are events that we're then going to listen to. So I can go over to webhooks here, and what you guys can see, so this is my Stripe account, and what I'm gonna be able to do now is I'm gonna be able to add a new destination, right? Or I guess I should go to overview and first check out like, hey, what webhooks do we have? Here's our publisher key. So what webhooks do we have? We have a bunch of API requests, webhooks. So add destination. So this is what it looks like. We're going to use, which one should I use? Your current version. All right, let's just screenshot this and we'll input it into Cursor. Which version should I select? No, it's a React Native using Expo, Veershaw. Did you post any apps on Play Market? No, I don't. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I really like React Native personally. Okay, Clover, your current version. This ensures the webhook events match the API version your account is already using. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so events. So what I'm gonna do now is we're just gonna be able to shrink this, and on the left, I'm gonna paste in basically these events that we need to listen for, right? Because you can't yet make it so that the agents are able to just create these events, which will happen. Like they're gonna be able to create an MCP tool where you're just gonna be able to do this via the CLI, right? Which will be great. But for now, it looks like we're gonna have to just copy and paste all these manually right now, which is fine. So there's 1, 2, here's a third one, fourth. All right. So for example, on one of these events, like let's say invoice payment succeeded, right? I could make there be an event that fires off when we get that webhook so that it goes and it's able to, for example, send an email that the payment succeeded, right? Now there are native solutions for that as well. But that looks good. Your account connected in V2 accounts, that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna do continue. I wanna make sure I don't do that. Okay, so we're gonna do webhook endpoint, continue, and let's see here. So I'm just gonna do a screenshot and give me what to enter here for the endpoint URL as well as the description. Have I posted any apps on Google Play? Yes, I have posted an app on Google Play. All right. I don't really like this. Way too much content. I hate it. Redesign it. Make it simple. Make it more of like some type of diagram or something visual, like a custom-made visual component instead of all the heavy text. We'll see what it comes up with. All right, so it gave us this. So API, there we go. Remember, this is for our test server. So I need you to input, that's fine. We'll do dev. So it's gonna be the dev endpoint, okay? Oh, the music died. Hold up. Hold on here. The reason the music's dying is because this right here. So if I close the simulator, the music will be back. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know, Max. Shout out to you. Do I have to buy Claude Code apart in addition to your Cursor subscription, or Cursor's all in one? No, so Cursor is its own thing. Claude Code is separate from Cursor. Okay, dev API. Okay, that's fine. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna now enter this dev endpoint, dev API, and then I'm gonna go over here and we're going to copy and paste this description. And now I'm gonna do, I don't know if it's gonna show the environment variable. I don't want it to, so it may show my secret. Destination name, signing secret. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the signing secret here. Okay, so we have it. Great, I now have the signing secret. Where do I put it? I mean, obviously I know where to put it. Why am I even asking? All right, that goes in my EMV under the webhook secret. Stripe webhook secret. Okay, so API, you guys can't see my environment variables today, unfortunately. Hold on, let's fix these errors that I'm getting here just real quick. So let's do at BridgeMind API. Run npm run build and fix all the errors in the BridgeMind API. Here are some errors that I'm seeing. And let's do an, I don't want to put an ultra thing on this. What is the monthly budget? So right now, we actually were able to cut our AI subscriptions in half. I think it's very interesting to hear like different people's perspectives. I think that AI costs are going to go down. Here's what I think. I think AI, there's going to be more use cases for it. So costs are technically like going to go up just in terms of like, hey, for example, there are going to be more tools and more ways for you to be able to use AI. So you're going to end up spending more money on AI. But for now, it's interesting because the models are getting cheaper and better. So for example, my budget was $600 a month. Now it's dropped down to $280. And like the reason that we're using Cursor so much today is because I still have the remaining parts of my, my Cursor Ultra subscription, right? But I canceled it because I don't need it anymore. So I don't need that subscription anymore. So I actually was able to cancel that subscription and I'm saving, what is it? You know, $140 a month because I no longer need it, which is really nice. So I did just configure that environment variable. So now what I'm gonna have to do is I now need you to give me the command to listen locally on the correct port. Yeah, I use Claude. Yeah, so I only spent 280, because I spent $20 on ChatGPT, and then I spend $60 on Cursor, and then I spend $200 on Anthropic's 20x code plan or whatever. Okay, I do need to log into Stripe here. So let me launch a terminal real quick. You guys are not gonna be able to see this because it's private. But let me CD into, I don't actually think I even need to CD. But what you do is when you are integrating with Stripe and you're testing these things, you have to set up what's called a local listener. So for example, all you have to do is, log into Stripe. And then once you log into Stripe, you're able to actually run a command to listen locally on your computer. I do need a code real quick. Can I get ZLM 4.7 API keys and use that in Cursor? Will that be good? You mean GLM, right? So with GLM, I have mixed opinions about it now. Like, I do think it's a little bit slow. I was trying to use it in Cerebrus this morning at 1,000 tokens per second, and it was like missing, if that makes sense. Like, it just was not, it was not getting what I needed it to do done. It was getting rate limited, and then I did have it go back through just with like, I mean, for example, we can open it up in open code and I'll show you guys like what it looks like. But yeah, I mean, I'm not super impressed with it. I think that it's not going to be something that I'm going to be using. But again, everybody has their own workflows. Everybody has their own budget. I would be using that model if you have like a not much of a budget. If you don't have a huge budget, then that could potentially be a good model for you for sure. But if you have a budget, I would definitely be like using like Claude Code or something like that. But let me pull up this listener here. I did just authenticate, so I just need to make sure that this is now in, which it is. So let's go back over here and let's grab this command. So this is gonna listen locally. So I'm just gonna drop this in, Stripe listen on that endpoint. That looks good. So now I'm gonna be able to test this workflow out. Okay, I just entered that command and we are now listening locally. Oh. This is where I get my signing secret. I totally forgot about that. Hold on, I do need to update my EMVs again. Give me 1 sec. When you paid for the pay to go thing, did you change your API key or leave it? I did create a new one. And that's a thing, is that like, hey, reliability is very important. So if you guys saw that video, I was getting rate limited like very heavily, which I was not a big fan of. Okay, I did just add this, so let's do start dev here to run this. Vibe coding Stripe setups I'm in, yes. Yeah, we're doing Stripe setup right now. So this should be good to go. I just want to confirm with Cursor real quick that we are set. So I want to see if I'm good to test. The best way to test this is we actually need to make it so that users can log in, so like they can sign up and then they can actually do this. Do I use the same tech stack across these projects? I do not. I am a fan of TypeScript. I am a fan of like Nest.js. I've also used Express. I've used React. I'm more of a Next fan. I've used Vite and Vue. I just like Next for a bunch of different reasons. I think that you end up having a little, okay, so you can now test this here. So for example, I can now test this. So I want to test this. Okay. Okay, one issue that may be happening here. Double check the endpoint that I should be listening on locally. Confirm that the one that you gave me is correct. You gave me Stripe Webhooks. Are you 100% sure that that's correct? Because we do have a prefix of API on most endpoints. Review and confirm or deny. I did not take part in that, Nishant. What are the commission rates? They're low. They're like 2-point-something%. They're not super high. But all right, guys, we're up to 103 likes, so it's time to do some curls here. Let's hit them. So, all right, confirm that that is correct. Okay. There was a disputifier attack. I didn't see that, no. All right, there's 25. Dang, I think the curls are actually a little bit harder than the push-ups. Maybe I just need bigger arms, so it's good we're doing them. Okay, so let's check this out. So we should be able to test this. I now need you to review this project. there needs to be a page for users to be able to manage their plan. For example, downgrade or upgrade. Okay, let's think about the best way to do this because this is important. So here's what I'm thinking about just when considering this. So we have the following structure. So obviously we have one API here. I'm not using microservices. Microservices can be too much sometimes. But we have the Electron app, okay? We have the mobile app. And then we have the web app. And probably the approach that I want to take is instead of having to like rebuild, first of all, when you're doing mobile apps, you want to be careful here. I don't want to give any revenue to Apple or Google. They take like 30% commission. So I am more inclined to say, hey, when we're doing Stripe, let's only make it so that here you're able to do your upgrading and downgrading or managing your subscription, but inside of the Electron app and inside the mobile app. I don't really want that, right? So what I'm thinking about now is we need to come up with a way so that, you know, for example, on the mobile app, if you want to change your plan, we're going to have to redirect to a specific page on the web. Same thing with Electron. If you want to you know, update your plan in the Electron app, it's going to redirect you, right? J35 said he doesn't have dumbbells but wants to do some hammer curls. So let's see, like, honestly, I think a good way to check this is like, let's see what Cursor does, right? So if I go, can I even manage my plan inside of Cursor? So general, manage my account. Look at this. So manage your account and billing, right? So hold on, let me check that there's nothing sensitive here. Hold on. But I'm gonna click open on that. Open up another window. So open me up, and I'm just in the Cursor dashboard now. Okay. Yeah, it's very simple. I mean, honestly, it may be smart. No. Yeah, we're gonna do mobile. Okay. Also, if you guys are watching and have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Let's do a quick sub check. Where are we at for today? I know that we were going up a lot, but that's pretty normal. All right, let's see here. All right, we're up to 23,171. Shout out to you guys. Let's get to 23,200. So that is like pretty simple, their configuration of it. What I do want to check is, for example, just like a with the Electron app, which right now it's needs to be reloaded. But I'll just kind of show you guys how it currently works. So with the Electron app, let's pull it up and let's just restart it real quick. Where even is it? Which one is it? It's this one. All right, so let's restart it. All right, so let's sign in with Electron real quick. I'll do 1 push-ups every like is plus 1 push-up. Good luck. That was tough for me yesterday. I did like over 600 push-ups. That was crazy. All right, so let's go here. So for example, I mean, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna go here, and then, like for example, when you click account, you're gonna want to be able to manage your account here. So let's just do a quick agent for that. I want to keep that here. Okay, so what I'm curious about is I think it should be in the web app. In this project, there needs to be a settings page that allows users to do things like change their password, manage their billing, and other settings related functionality. But I need you to build this page out, and I need you to build it out first. Don't worry about forget password, only focus on the Stripe integration and making it so that users can actually upgrade or downgrade in this portal. Very important. Review the code and create a structured plan first. All right, we'll do plan mode. That's fine. Why Claude Code, not Codex? Claude Code is better. Also, Brother Code said you have to get approved from Apple to accept payments outside of their app and purchase system. Otherwise, they will deny you for not abiding by their 3.1.1 business payment guidelines. Yeah, so I will say, I don't know. So there has been some updates to that. You're probably smart. Let's check it out. So let me just take your comment. I think that's it. Thank you for that, Brother Codes. That's very resourceful. Thank you. So let me pull this up and actually just drop this in, because I know that, yes, they don't want that to happen, right? They don't want people to be able to do that. So I want you to review the context of our Stripe payment system. So we do have this mobile app. But I do not want to have to use something like RevenueCat or Apple subscriptions. I want payments to all go through the web app. So I need you to review this comment from a member of the BridgeMind community and search the internet and find the most up-to-date information about the guidelines for this and make sure that our app integrates these guidelines. Note that when users are onboarding onto the app, we will default to the free plan always. And then if they want to upgrade, they'll have to go to the web app to do that, because that is where users will be able to upgrade or downgrade their plan. I think they started using Mermaid for this on their planning. Is this using Markdown, or I think it's using Mermaid now or something. Oh, I guess it's still Markdown. This does use, yeah, that's Mermaid there. But yeah, so here's what they have. So architecture tab, navigation, billing tab, accounts tab. This is pretty cool. Cursor's done a good job with this. Okay, so you have to apply for it or something. You can't just set it up and then submit your app for review. I just did that last week and they denied me. Okay, thank you, Brother Codes. Appreciate it. Have you gotten it? Have you gotten accepted for it though? Yeah, Spotify never handles payment on the app. They redirect you to the web. Yeah, I think that's the best approach for something like this for sure. I don't want to have to, and it's less about, like, for me, it's less about the 30%, which, you know, you can enroll in the small business plan and it goes down to 15%, which is still a lot. Don't get me wrong. But for example, it's like, hey, also just being able to use one subscription provider. I mean, you could use RevenueCat for everything, and that would be decent. But the thing is, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. So, build a README with the most up-to-date information on what we need to do for this after you search the internet and figure out everything that you need to do. I want to be able to redirect to the web to proceed with payments, but the thing is that we won't need to do this on onboarding, because the onboarding, when users are creating accounts, it will all be free. So we don't need to worry about like a subscription there. It's going to be free. So do you guys see what I'm saying? So we're going to have, you know, it's going to be free to get started, so we're not going to have to worry about it up front. A PWA that can be downloaded on mobile through the browser. That way, yeah, I mean, it's going to be very simple. It's all just going to go through the web app. But also, shout out to Brother Codes. Thank you for being so specific, because it's able to actually look up the, you can see it search, these agents are searching the web. Also, how's our integration there? Run the test suite. Hold on, let's actually open up Warp for this. So let's pull this up real quick. Let's cd into BridgeMind API, and let's run npm run test. This is going to run the test suite. So here's the test suite that we've been working on. This is like, you guys haven't really seen this that much, but there was an agent that's been working on this. We have 38 test suites. 9 of them are failing. So let's actually launch an agent here. I need you to run the test suite and fix any failing tests. Oh, dang. Brother Code said they actually ended up switching to RevenueCat for it. Try using Kiro. I haven't used Kiro. Synthetic acid, we've stopped with ViewCreator. No, we're just working on a vibe coding tool for right now. ViewCreator is generating revenue, and I use it every day. It generates about 50,000 views for me every 24 to 48 hours. At this point, it's the virality engine backing BridgeMind, and it's generating revenue. It's getting close to 1,000 to MRR. We're about to pass it. I'll have to check that. pass. All right, cool. That'll fix those. So we have an agent working on that. Let's pull back this. That looks fine. Where is this at? This will probably be a one shot, honestly. So let's run that. Also, we're up to 116 likes, so I'm gonna hit some curls real quick. If you guys have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We've got 2 agents, technically 3, 2 agents inside of Cursor working for us. Then 1 in Claude Code inside of Warp. Let's hit some curls. Brother codes. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I just hit 20. Up to 90. 90. I just need to stay up. Yesterday, you guys were liking so much, and I had to do a push-up for every like, and I was like 100 behind the whole stream. I had to do 600 push-ups yesterday. It was nuts. Yeah, I mean... Sock said thoughts on open code versus Claude Code. Open code if you literally have no budget. Claude Code if you have money, you know? Like, open code is for people that are, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just generalizing, so. But in my opinion, Claude Code is a lot better than open code. I will just say that. All right, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna have to set the publishable key. Let's check on Electron here. We also want to make it so that inside of the Electron app, inside of the settings page, inside of the account page, there should be a button or a section related to billing or account where the user is able to click it to manage their billing or their account, and it redirects to the respective web app account settings page. The thing is that this is, yes, I think this was created already. Okay, cool. So here was the plan for it. So it already created, so I'm dropping this off to this agent now. I will say using Cursor is kind of nice. I haven't used it in a while. I've gotten so used to using Claude. But yeah, Brother Code said that his thinking is when he gets approved, he's going to switch back to Stripe. Yeah, I mean, I don't like switching providers like that because it does take some effort. Like, hey, a revenue cat integration isn't like the easiest thing to set up. I mean, yes, you can probably set up in a couple hours using, you know, agentic coding, but I mean, there is some overhead. So that's not the approach that I'm going to take. But thank you for sharing, because that's interesting that you took that approach. You'll basically. Well, the problem is when you use Revenue Cat, aren't you like going through their subscription, and then you would literally have to switch it over? And so yes, you would be able to get initially approved, but once you switch it over, aren't they gonna like tax you on that, right? Okay, so let's see. Do I need to set up any environment variables for this in the web app? Opus is, I don't think that Opus is that expensive. If like you're on the Claude 20x plan, you pretty much get unlimited usage. I'm using Opus 4.5 right now, and I'm using it a lot because for this, I want to spend $300 today because that's what's included in my plan, so I can use that. Do I not need a Stripe publishable key because we're using? Oh, it's probably in the API, isn't it? Yeah, it calls those endpoints. Okay, gotcha. So it calls those endpoints and gets the redirect that way. Okay, cool. Also, where are we at? Let's do a quick sub check. We are at 23,174 subscribers. If you guys have not already liked or subscribed, make sure you do so. I think that's behind. It's going to update here in a second. But yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, let's go here. Let's log in. BridgeMind apps +2. All right, so let's see what it created. So settings. So I'm on the free plan. Account. Billing. Okay, nice. All right, so this is where you can use a little bit of Gemini 3 Pro love. So I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna go here, Gemini 3 Pro. Significantly improve the styling of this page to be more compact, professional, follow the theme. Don't use the purple gradients, they're ugly. Make it super, super professional. Use Shad CN and follow the theme. Then I'm gonna drop in the BridgeMind web app. Also, we're up to 130 likes. I have done 90 curls, so I'm gonna do some more curls. Let's go. Soccer Dad said that his bill was $400 last month, but he's only on the $20 plan. Is it worth upgrading the $200 plan? Yes, it definitely is, yes. If you're on the $200 plan, that $400 in usage would have been included. You get about $500 worth of usage in the Ultra plan. So that's why you guys are seeing me use it a bunch today, because I've only used $200 in my Cursor Ultra plan, so I'm trying to get up to $500 today. That's what I'm trying to do. Hung said that you get $2,000 worth of inference out of the $200 Claude Max plan. It's the best deal of your life. Smash it before the VC subsidized token costs disappear. Yeah. All right, I don't even know how many curls I just did, but I know it was at least 20. I'm about to get like checked by a mod. Tanker said he just used Minimax M 2.1 on OpenCode, maybe the best planner I've ever used. Yeah, I've heard that it's good. The planning mode on OpenCode is pretty good. We can try it out today if you guys want. All right. Yeah, we got some. We're building the big arms, man. All right, Brother Code said Revenue Cat definitely has more config. If you use Stripe payment links, it's an easy switch from Revenue Cat, especially if you have the Stripe webhooks already set up. Yeah. Nid, we're building a agentic coding tool right now. You can check it out, BridgeMind.ai. That's what we're working on right now. All right. So let's see here. This looks like it's done. Let's see if it did a better job. Ooh. So that was Gemini 3 Pro's work. It messed up the spacing. You messed up the spacing and padding. Fix that. It's all squashed. Add bench press for me, like, yeah, that would be insane. I mean, we've already got more props. I mean, this is the first time that the curl. We've got the curls. We've got the chaps. Oh my gosh, I saw something so funny yesterday. All right, so if you guys know, I'm sure that you guys know of him, Alex Finn, which. I won't like bash the guy. I don't think he's a great person. Yesterday, it was just funny because I was like, I mean, I kind of watch like what other people are doing. I'm like, all right, what's this person up to, right? So I was kind of skipping through his live stream, and his like mic broke down, and he was like kind of a jerk. He was like, people were just being like, they're like, hey man, like your mic's all a little bit like I can't hear you. It's not really working that well. And he was like, if it's not working, like you guys can leave. And he like really triggered him. I was like, what is up with that? But that's not what I was gonna say. I like skipped to the very, what was it? It was oh yeah, it was the very end. And somebody that I knew from our streams was like 1,000 push-ups at 50 likes, and he was like, I'm not doing any push-ups. And it was just like funny since I feel like we're like kind of doing the push-ups and like some of the workout stuff on streams, and it's like resonating with people. And it was just funny to see people asking Alex to do that. It's cracking me up because I was like, it was somebody that I knew from the BridgeMind army, and I was like, that is so funny that somebody's telling him. Man, I appreciate it, man. Let's go. Do I monetize YouTube? Yeah, no, so I don't monetize YouTube. It's not my plan to become a YouTuber or a content creator. Like, that's one thing that you guys know about me is that I actually don't really like I enjoy doing this for sure. I like sharing the journey and sharing the mission, but for me, I think it's interesting because a lot of people that I see, here's my perspective. If you go into it wanting to make money off of YouTube or wanting to get sponsors or wanting to be a content creator, then your brand, your content is all going to be associated with how do I get more views and more likes and how do I get the engagement. And what's interesting is that, like, for example, all of my streams have copyright music. All my streams, we're just having a good time. All my streams, I don't take any sponsors. I don't monetize YouTube. I don't do any of that. And what it allows me to do is it allows me to just be a little bit more free because I'm not in this to be a content creator. I'm in this to share my journey. And you guys know that about me, so I won't, I guess there's a lot of new people around here. But yes, if you guys are new around here, I do not monetize the YouTube. I have no plans on monetizing it, just because that's not what I want to be, right? I don't really necessarily want to be a content creator, and I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with being a content creator, but for me, I just don't really have an interest in it. That's not why I started doing it. I've been vibe coding every single day like this for 3 years. I'm passionate about vibe coding, and even like, for example, like sometimes for me, the best parts of my day is when I'm like vibe coding off stream because I just genuinely love it. So like the streams are great because there's a lot of like, we get to build a community, we get to do a whole lot of stuff. I also think that it's a great way for me to be able to build a platform and be able to build a community and be able to do all of these things, which are great. But that's not the end goal for me to become a content creator. I just genuinely like building and creating things, and I like vibe coding, and I think that's why BridgeMind has resonated with a lot of people, is that I'm just organically, genuinely sharing my journey along the way, and there's no ulterior motive for me to be making money off of you guys with like sponsorships and revenue, or you guys paying me subscription fees and stuff. I don't know. That's enough said on that. But yeah, so I don't monetize. Long story short. Okay, so I am getting a 400 error here when trying to launch a checkout session. Let's go check out what's actually causing this. The 400 error is right here. Checkout session. This is going to be pretty easy to fix. When I tried to, on this page, why did I get this error? What do I do for a living? So this is my third startup. My last company was an online therapy platform that I ran for over a year and scaled to 35 therapists. So, this is, I just am doing what I love at this point. And, I've invested capital into the company, and I plan to invest additional capital into the company. We haven't really burned, in my last company, we were burning a lot of money. It's given me a good perspective of hey, what does it look like when you're burning too much money? What does it feel like when, you have all this overhead? And my plan with BridgeMind is, hey, the leaner that you can keep it, the better, especially when you don't have significant amounts of revenue. With my last company, we didn't have any revenue until 12 months in. So I think that that's one thing that's interesting about my experience. And just with all this, a lot of people, they say, you've only made $2,800 in 116 days. And it's yeah, the fact that we've made any money at all, the fact that we have a product that we've built in that time period that's now generating revenue is crazy. And I know that from experience, right? From what it looks like doing this. And I think that it's a good way to be able to share the journey and to share that mindset, because I think that people just think oh, I'm going to vibe code something and then in 10 days I'm going to be generating significant amounts of revenue, which it does happen. Some people do it, but I think it's a rare edge case and probably not the case for what we're doing here. I think that this is a long-term mission. I think that BridgeMind is going to own 2026. This is going to be the place to be, the fastest growing vibe coding community. And you guys can see that play out right now. Speaking of which, if you guys have not already joined the Discord, make sure you do so. I'm going to give a quick shout out to newly joined member of the Discord. There's a lot of you guys today. So let me just give a quick shout out. Shout out to Quad Scorpion, M&M's, Eden, Sebastian, Most Decent, Zach, Exchange Traded Foolery, Human, Chan, Joe, Weehai, Harshit. Welcome to the community, guys. I'm happy that you're here. If you haven't already joined the Discord, make sure you do so. There's a link in the description down below, as is there is pinned in the chat. So pretty nice. All right, WDan's in the chat. He said, I'm a believer in the cursor debug mode. Really impressed with it this past week. It can be a bit of a process, but the results save time. I haven't really used it. It's just debug right here. Hold on, let's try it out. WDan is certified. He's actually taught me a lot, so shout out to him. What do I even do? Debug mode, review the API, and debug. I don't know. Debug it. What does this even do? I've never used it before. Tanker said, what do you think a typical startup or SaaS makes like 3 months after launch? 0. Like 3 months after getting started, you usually don't even have a product. What even is Debugging? I've never used it. J3, I am working on a vibe coding tool right now. This is what I'm working on right here. So this is the Electron app, just for example, so I can create new workspaces and quickly. It's very similar to Warp, but we're building a Warp tool that's going to replace Warp for us, and we're going to be able to build a bunch of tools on top of it. But you know, I can just go in here. Hold on here. Let's go to CD Desktop. Also, we do need to work on this. There's things I want to do today with this, but for example, active subscription required. That's actually not the case. We have a lot to do today. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming for a super long time today, but I know we're going to be going for a couple more hours. So if you guys are just tuning in, make sure you like, subscribe. WDan said, works best with a specific bug. It adds logging to your code and then runs tests, and it evaluates the logs. Great to tackle bugs found by cursor agents, for example. Gotcha. Okay, that's actually really helpful then. Okay, share any errors that you see. Got it. Wow, okay. That's actually super helpful. Okay, shout out to WDN. Thank you. All right. Check the description for the links. Also, somebody can drop it with a ViewCreator or a BridgeMind. All right, so let's go here. So is this working now? Oh. All right. So we're getting this 400 error. Which one was working on it? Stripe checkout session issued. Come on, we may have some issues here. Let's run npm run build real quick. Thank you, J35. Sock, I don't think it got deleted. You'll have to just retype it. Okay, WDan, good to know. Yeah, WDan does have his certification, so that's super helpful. Okay, let's go over here and just re-get that bug. Okay, so we'll try this then. So taking WDan's suggestion, what we're gonna do is we're gonna launch this, and we're gonna launch it in debug mode. And here's what we'll do. Go to settings, review this, and I want you to get to the bottom of this error and fix it. I am clicking, this happens when I click start 7-day free trial. Oh, I actually think I know what's causing this. The reason that this is happening is because it's probably thinking that there should be a table in the database, like a row in the database for that user, but because there's not one, it's throwing a 400 because it's like, hey, there's not even a row in the table for that user because we implemented that logic after. So I'm assuming that that's actually what it is, but we'll see. All right, also, we're up to 150 likes. Let me hit some curls, guys, while this agent's working. We're up to 110 curls, so let's knock some more out. All right, 20. Let's go. Catching up to you guys. I'm at 1:30. All right, also, yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll let it keep going. Let's do a quick sub check. Where are we at? Last time we checked. We're at 23,190. So if you guys have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Yeah, the revenue, the majority of the revenue is coming from ViewCreator.ai. The front end isn't sending billing period, so it defaults to monthly. Oh. Okay, so we'll let this run, but I do know what the error is. I do know what it is. Let me fix it. I didn't have the, I didn't have that environment variable set. So let me do that real quick. Okay. All right, so I'm going to set these. Just give me 1 second here. All right, so I'm now going to go to Stripe. All right, cool. All right, so just in Stripe, what I need to do is I need to go into Pro here. I need to grab this price ID. There it is. And I just need to go to my environment variables and set this. And okay, so here is what it looks like though inside of this debug mode. So I haven't used this before. Let's kind of like just zoom out a little bit and see like, okay, so this is debug mode. So, oh wow, okay. So it literally has different hypotheses. So it says that I've added instrumentation to capture the exact cause of the 400 error. The logs will track hypothesis A, hypothesis B. Yep. So it is hypothesis B. So I kind of figured that, but WDN, that's awesome. So let me retest this. It hasn't even tested those hypotheses, so we kind of killed the bug finder. Oh man, we should have left it like it was to see if it could have found. I mean, maybe it's not that. Let's see though. Let's refresh and then just launch this again. I mean, yeah. Hold on. Oh geez. What now? I can't even tell. That's the MCP. This is one issue with the warp terminals. I literally cannot see which project is which. It's so annoying. It's this one though. All right, there we go. All right, start 7-day free trial. Oh, still getting that issue. All right. So then it's not that issue, right? Because I'm 100% certain that I set that, so. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so this is debug mode. What's the tech stack? Next, Nest, Postgres, all on AWS. All right, so it's hypothesis D, the full exception response, including validation errors. Wow. So shout out to WDN. If this works, I haven't tried this yet. So that's that's definitely a reason to be using Cursor still. If this works, I'm gonna be very impressed by that. I don't even have a Warp subscription. I'm just using a free subscription. All right, so let's see if it works now. I'm assuming that I did a fast refresh, so let's refresh this. Try it again. Oh, wow, it's gonna work. That is so sick. Okay, that's pretty cool. So for those of you that are wondering, so shout out to WDM because he basically just said, hey, check this out, and then it worked. So in debug mode, it offers man, I'm definitely gonna make a video on this because it offers hypothesis of like, hey, this could be, you know, what's wrong. You reproduce the error, and then now you can do mark fixed. So it's now fixed. So the issue has been fixed. Please clean up the instrumentation. That is actually sick. That is awesome. So now it's going to remove the debug instrumentation from all the files. Wow. Okay, that is awesome. Because Shard, you don't actually use, you can just use Claude Code inside of Warp. I use it to manage my panes. Yeah. So we literally solved the error using debug mode. That's pretty cool. All right, it's just gonna clean everything up now. All right, and then let me see. So now we're gonna be able to test our, okay, cool. I can just do this one. All right, so I'm gonna test with a test credit card. Start trial. And then I should get redirected back. Let's see. And this is like a big implementation that we've been working on. I want to get redirected back, and I want to make sure that that's been created in the database. This is taking a little long. There we go. Upgraded true. Come on, you can do it. Why do I keep getting that error though? I keep getting this error in the project. AWS is expensive, but you know, for the direction that I want to end up going is I probably will, you know, scale the company and potentially get outside investors. I've got a couple people that are interested in investing in BridgeMind. So I don't know what I'll end up doing. Like right now, I'm happy just investing my personal capital. But eventually, when it does get to a certain point, I probably will take in outside capital and scale the company significantly. So my plan is I want to be on AWS. So when I bring in like a larger engineering team, we're not on like a crappy stack, if that makes sense. So I'd rather spend the money now so that I have less headaches down the road. But yeah, I definitely want to be on AWS. But that's my plan. But yeah, that's just because like, hey, you know, when I have people that are like, hey, you know, I want to invest, I know that that's going to be an option for us as we scale revenue. I don't want to lose a bunch of my company early on with, you know, hey, low revenues means that you're going to give up a lot of equity. Now, I do think that we have built a brand, we've built a community, so there are a lot of factors that are working. Also, I think that it's nice because I think that a lot of people that are interested in investing, they do look at founders is one important thing. They do look at founders. So if you position yourself in a way as a leader and as a founder that's like kind of somebody that's like a grinder and somebody that's willing to do whatever it takes, it is very attractive for people to invest in you. So ultimately, I think that I'll continue the way that I'm going right now. Because honestly, I'm fine. I'm not burning a bunch of money, but when it comes time to start really pushing, I probably will look for outside capital, maybe like $500,000 in outside capital, and then we'll scale the company from there. But right now, I'm happy with how things are going, and I don't really feel like getting involved with other investors. Mehmet said ViewCreator agent is so good. Yeah, it is really good. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I mean, if you use it, when you see that it like is automating the content creation, oh my gosh, let's go chat, we did it. Hey, let's go. W's in the chat, we did it, guys. Tanthian said, I think he will be back to Cursor soon. Yeah, maybe. Cursor. All right, that's pretty cool. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, debug mode is very good on Cursor. I'm impressed by that. They may have just got me. Review this page. I want you to make it so that there's a sidebar. with the different pages. Also, I now want you to build out the different sidebar pages for managing settings. Billing is important, account is important. Review the styling and update accordingly. Debug, so I'm actually probably gonna make a video on that because that was really impressive. So what it did was you drop in a bug, right? And it's able to actually set up like logging and a hypothesis of like, hey, here's the bug, here's what I think it could potentially be. So for that bug, I mean, we can just look back. Was it this one here? No, it wasn't. It was this one here. So for example, it set up a feedback mechanism, but then this is what I thought was really cool. So look at this. It says, I've added instrumentation to capture the exact cause of the 400 error. The logs will track. And then it said hypothesis A, hypothesis B, hypothesis C, hypothesis D. And it'll then allow you to reproduce the issue and then to say, yes, I've reproduced it. And then with that feedback mechanism, it takes what it saw, and then it was able to know hypothesis D confirmed with log evidence. And then it was able to know that, okay, this is the cause of that bug. Now let's go fix it, right? So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, probably the biggest thing is just team build out. For me, team build out is important. I think that yeah, once we get recapitalized, it'll be a lot of team build out, a lot of hiring, a lot of marketing. But I think that we're gonna have to probably, like, I probably will not consider taking outside capital until we get to around 50,000 in revenue, and probably build the community to, I would say, at least 5x what it is now, which I don't think is that far off. It's just that, hey, that could take about 6 to 12 months. But like I said, hey, if you get outside capital right off the bat, you're gonna get absolutely killed on equity. You know, my last company I only owned 45% of, which is a lot, but still, you know, that equity, you get killed on it if you go too early. So if you only own 45%, you know, there's going to be some things with that you guys should be considering. Super Combo Gamer, what's up, man? How's it going? Okay. All right, what's this now? All right, Gemini 3 Pro. Fix this error that you created. Also, guys, if you guys are watching, have not already liked, subscribed, or joined the BridgeMind community, make sure you do so. There's a link in the chat to the Discord. Also, I think we got to move the desk back up and hit some curls. We've got 173 likes. I'm at 130 curls, so I'm 43 behind you guys. Oh, shoot. Super Combo. Hold on here. I think I saw you give me a DM, but I actually haven't read it. I can read it off stream. Let me just take a peek right now. Oh. Okay. Okay, I am looking at it now. I'm gonna read that. Yeah, I'm gonna read that off stream so I can process it and get back to you, Super Combo. Thank you. Okay. Why is there a display name? Okay, so now this is the, you know, the settings. If I just go to settings, this page, settings account. So now if I go back to the Electron app and I go to settings, manage subscription. So if I go here, is that gonna redirect me? That doesn't do anything. Okay. So I'm now gonna add the BridgeMind Electron app. Yeah, Gemini 3 Flash is good for speed, but also, I mean, Gemini 3 Pro is better anyway, so. review the settings page in the Electron application and make sure that when I click on, for example, manage account, that it actually brings me to the settings page accordingly. Right now, when I click the button, it does nothing. Code Gagi said that not gonna lie, your MCP tool was cool. Yeah, it's gonna be released here shortly. You know, my goal is we've got a couple different irons in the fire, but you know, for example, I was looking. I've never actually like deployed an Electron app. I think that's going to be something really interesting for you guys to watch as I learn how to do it and as I deploy it, because like, for example, you have to make it so that users can actually like download your Electron app, right? They download your application. Like, it's not just a web application, they're downloading this Electron application. So I need to figure out things like, hey, to be able to, when you're in production, be able to push updates out to those users is something that I need to learn. I also need to learn how to, like, there is some certificates that you need to be able to make it so that, you know, it's usable on a Mac or usable on a Windows machine. So there's a couple of nuances that I'm gonna have to learn off stream and get into, but I'm really excited to go through this process with you guys because, you know, we're building an MCP, we're building a vibe coding tool, and I'm excited to make it so that, you know, going forward, you know, I can just use my own tool. It'll be very nice. Backstory, I will check out your message on Discord. Also, let's hit some curls, guys, while this agent works. Let's go. Bomb. Let's go. I'm up to 150. Okay. All right. So let's see. Is that now fixed? Let's go here. Manage subscription. Why is it still not launching anything? All right. Let's launch. Let's launch Warp real quick. All right, all the tests are passing now, which is nice. All right, BridgeMind, Electron. Here's what I'm gonna do, and open up BridgeMind Electron. Review this here. Right now, it's not redirecting or launching a browser. Why is that happening? Review and pinpoint and update to make sure that it does. Yeah, that's well said, WDan. Yeah, I'll do some. Let's do some. I haven't done pull-ups in a while on stream. I'll do those too. Go. It'll be able to intuitively grab that though. I mean, it needs to chill and not have. Oh, is it manage account here? No, that still doesn't do anything. This isn't even on theme. Shortcuts. Ooh, blinding. Nord. It's kind of cool. I like that theme. Alright guys, if you guys are watching and have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Let's do a quick sub check. We should be breaking 23,200 here. There it is. But let's go. Shout out to you guys. This community is growing incredibly fast. Let's go. If you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Let's check this out here. So that's having this. Let's launch another terminal here. Okay, so this is going to be probably the next thing that we're going to do. So check this out, guys. So over here, which, hold on. I do want to remove all subscription guards for now. I don't want to worry about subscriptions yet. Let's just use Gemini 3 Flash for this. I do not yet want to use any subscription guards on API routes. We'll worry about that later. Remove any subscription guards from controllers. All right, and then we're gonna drop in the API. Joe Carmichael said, I only discovered you today, but you've already shown me a lot. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is that, like, I'm just here to genuinely just share my journey with you guys. I don't monetize YouTube. I don't take sponsors. And I think that puts me in a unique position to just genuinely be able to build a community and to help you guys out in any way I can. But, you know, I genuinely enjoy vibe coding. I've been doing it for 3 years. It totally changed my life. I dropped out of college for it. And I actually was talking to some people in the Discord. Shout out to Aryan. Shout out to Lucas. You know, a couple of you guys are pretty cool. And I thought it was cool because, you know, I was talking to you guys and, you know, somebody let me see. Let me pull up the Discord real quick and I'll show you guys. So it's this one here. So here's our general chat. If you guys haven't already joined, make sure you do so. But there's this like co-working lounge and a couple of us, I think there was like 10 of us at one point hanging out in here this morning. And somebody was just sharing what he was working on, getting some opinions from other people in the community. And it was really cool because, you know, people were being very supportive and it was interesting to just see that, basically I won't even say his name, but he was just saying that, hey, you know, I'm working on these projects. I really enjoy vibe coding, but you know, my family wants me to like be focusing on school. And he was just so relatable, right? Because I remember when I was going through a point in my life where I was wanting to drop out of school because I was like, I just am so passionate about entrepreneurship and vibe coding and building things. And, you know, I didn't know what to do, right? It was 3 years ago. And I ended up making the decision to drop out. But it was just cool to be able to talk to somebody that's going through that experience and get their perspective. KK Sound said this grind will never stop. Let's go, man. All right, so let's check this out. So what I want to do, and you guys are going to be able to see me build this. So really all I want is I want to be able to build the functionality so that I'm able to click a button that basically says run. And it'll be able to run a Claude agent with this. Now the problem is, and like something now that I think that we need to talk about a little bit, is just this concept of like, hey, if you want to run this right in the project, you have multiple different projects, right? So you have ViewCreator, you have BridgeMind, and you have test. And I think like one thing that you're going to need to make note of is, hey, if you're working with these agents in these different projects, right now these are just project names, right? These are not associated with any like workspace on my computer. And one thing to note is that, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to configure a way for this to know where these projects are at on my computer so that we can go into these tasks and we can click just run. And it's going to be able to open up a new workspace with a new window in that project directory and be able to run that task, right? So I don't know how to do that, but the good thing is that we have AI here to help us. So. Okay, so let's open this up. All right. Okay, so BridgeMind, Electron, BridgeMind database, or no, that's not a thing. It's just database here. And then the BridgeMind API. Okay, so I have a unique issue that I want to talk to you about and I want you to focus on and think through a potential solution. So right now, users can create these projects and you can review the database architecture for those projects and for those tasks. One issue that I have, though, is that these tasks, these projects are not, there's no link to where that project or those files are on the user's computer. And the problem with this is that, let's say that I want to run a task, right? And I want the AI to be able to work on that task. There's no reference to where that directory or where the task even is on the computer, or where that project is on the user's computer. Because let's say that we're going to be working on a project. Right now, the project just has a name and a description, and that's it. It has no link to where it actually is located on the user's computer. I need you to review this, search the internet, and think through the best practices for this, because we need some way for us to be able to link this so that it does know. Would you review this in depth? Don't write any code. Just think through what we can do to have a solution for this, and your output should be very, very simple with different options, with bullet points, and your recommended approach. Make sure that it is very understandable and very simple output. Okay. We're getting revenue from ViewCreator. You can go to viewcreator.ai. It has a couple thousand users, getting close to $1,000 MRR. That's the project that we've been working on to date. Today, we are working on a Agentic coding platform, or a vibe coding platform, BridgeMind. All right, somebody said turn the music down a little bit. No problem, thanks for letting me know. All right, turn it down a little bit. Let me know if that's good. Nan said that his friends say don't vibe code and to use your own mind. So, I mean, I think that people are going to come around on this. You know, I'll give you my perspective on it. So, a couple years ago, I saw AI and I saw it as, hey, this is going to be the future of software development. So I decided to go all in on vibe coding. The models, like, people were hating on it back then with GPT 3.5, GPT-4, GPT-4o, GPT 5, and as you get better and better and better, people are gonna start their stance is gonna change. So from my perspective, I would say I would be going all in on vibe coding and agentic coding. There's a different workflow. It's good. AI is an extension of the developer. You are using your own mind when you're vibe coding. It's not like you're just like some idiot that's just saying stuff, then you have no idea what you're doing. You are working with the AI. So here's the approach here. So the identity file approach, which is probably what I thought, what it was going to give us. So create a small hidden configuration file inside the user's project folder that connects it to the database ID. This is how Git, VS Code, and NPM work. When a user links a folder to a project, the app creates a hidden file inside that folder. This file contains only the project ID from your database. When the user opens a folder, your app reads this file. If it finds an ID, it automatically knows which project to load from the database. Okay, let's try out this approach. Create a structured plan for its implementation. An identity file. I've never worked with an identity file before. This is the first. Yeah, well, Opus was a game changer, but like here's the perspective that I have is that, like, every model release, the hype, boom, skyrockets, right? And then it dies down. And people are so short-sighted that, like, a lot of people aren't even thinking about the next model iterations. Like, Opus 4.5 is going to be a legacy model soon. And there's going to be models that absolutely obliterate Opus 4.5, and we'll never touch Opus 4.5 anymore, right? And we'll look at it a year from now, we'll look at it as a relic of the past, right? And I think what people sometimes miss is they miss the fact that these models, like, the next model release is only like 3 months away, guys. So, just be mindful that, hey, those friends that are hating on you saying use your own mind, like, just let's wait till the next set of model releases. Let's wait till Opus 5 and see what they're saying. Like, it's gonna be cracked. It's gonna be insane. Okay, so I do want to read this. I've never done this before, so let's just learn a little bit. So The identity file to solve the cloud to local sync problem. This ensures that when a user opens a folder in BridgeMind, the application automatically knows which database project it belongs to. Architecture, identity file, a hidden BridgeMind.json file in the project root containing project ID, UID. Detection app.tsx, intercepts folder opening, checks for the file, linking. If missing, a new project link modal prompts the user to link existing or create new. Yeah, mid 2027 will be nuts. Somebody wants the playlist. Let me see. Let me grab it for you. Here's the playlist. Wait, so remember that these projects, tasks, agents, these are stored in the database. So I don't want to mess things up where we have a bunch of things stored locally. I want it still connected to the database. Would you review the plan and help me to simply understand exactly, like this is my first time using an identity file, so I want you to teach it to me so I have a complete understanding and I'm not just in the dark about it. Yeah, so bats and badgers, I mean, you're even seeing me do that same thing right now. Your output should be simple and concise. I'm 23. So with this, it's like, hey, I'm learning. I've never used an identity file before. There's been no project that I've worked on before that's had me work on them. So I know this is like, I know what the concept is, but this is my first time using it. So let's just kind of learn about it together. I'm sure that a lot of people know about it, but let's just kind of read this. So you are absolutely right to be cautious. Let me reassure you, this plan changes nothing about where your data lives. Your database remains the single source of truth. Think of the identity file like a library card. The database is the library. It holds all the books, tasks, agents, project details. This is the safe, secure, and centralized. This is safe, secure, centralized. The user's folder is their backpack. This is on their computer. The database library cannot see their backpack. The identity file is the library card. We're putting a tiny card inside their backpack that says this backpack belongs to project 123. How it works in progress. What is stored locally? Only the ID of the project this. That is it. No tasks, no agents, no sensitive data. What happens when you open a folder? The app looks in the folder, the backpack, it finds an ID card. Oh, this is project ABC. It instantly calls your database to fetch the real tasks and agents for ABC123. Why this is the best solution? It bridges the gap without moving data. Database still holds 100% of the intelligence. Local computer only holds the code files in one tiny link ID link to tell the app where to look in the database. Okay. Yes, let's move forward with the plan, build it. All right. I guess I should have just clicked build. All right, also, we're up to 210 likes. Let's move the desk back up and hit some curls. Let's go. I'm at 150, so you guys are 60 ahead of me. I gotta catch up. No. Yeah, so Burrito just asked, could somebody manipulate the local file, change the ID, and access other info? So you just have a check to make sure that, somebody that's, like, if they're not connected to a project ID, they're not allowed to access, data from that project. It's a very simple off guard. They put in the API. So people can send whatever they want, but... Let's go, Dan. Good luck, man. There we go. Let's go. Also, quick update on our goal list for today. So first of all, we're at 170 curls. Stripe integration is done. Onboarding is done. And now we're working on the agent flow. The reason that we're even setting this identity file up in the first place is because what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that, you know, you don't have to be so, like, you want to be able to use the MCP, yes, but then you also want to have a UI, right? Which this needs to be refreshed. Ooh, caused this error. I think it's going to need to be refreshed anyway. Where is this? Here it is. Hold on. Oh, that's awesome, Dan. Dan says SSHing in, it's hilarious. Okay, there we go. So, okay, yeah, we need to fix this. I keep getting this error. Pinpoint exactly what is causing this and fix it. All right, I am gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. If you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. For every like, I'm doing 1 curl. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm so back, chat. I'm so back. All right. Gemini 3 Pro is not that good. For stuff like this. Or did it not do it? Oh, it didn't do it. Okay, yes, do it. Update the code. Thanks, Akil. Yeah, it's not reliable, Dan. It'll be bugging out all the time. It works here, though. Okay, so check this out, guys. All right, never mind. Psych. Okay, so how do I test this identity file configuration that we've hooked up? What do I do to make sure that it's linked? No, Serena, go to ViewCreator.ai. So we have a, this is the project that we've been working on since day 20. It's generating close to $1,000 a month MRR. And it's a great tool. I would highly recommend it if you're into content creation or anything. Okay. Super combo. I think it's literally maybe a problem on your end. Unless it's, let me see. Yeah, sign in works for me. I think it's a problem maybe with your account. Potentially. Okay, so this is what I don't like. So here's what it's saying. I don't think our linking for this is good. To test the identity file configuration, follow these steps in the BridgeMind election. Open a folder. Select a folder on your computer that you haven't used with BridgeMind before. Okay. Let's check it out. So let's go here, and it's going to have me open up a folder. Let's open up BridgeMind. Yes. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this approach. This is what we're building right now, Burrito. It's very difficult to get to create this file. We need a better approach so that... I mean, we need a way to create this without it... Sorry, guys. Let me just think for a second. Max said that Google search engine gave his website a 92. That's pretty good. AI-based filtering apps. I've never heard of them. So right now, I need to. What we need to do is we're kind of working backwards. So what we need to do is we need to make it so that I can go into this Kanban board here with these tasks, or for example, with these agents, and I need to be able to click a button where it's going to be able to open up a new workspace here automatically and be able to run it in the correct project, right? Now, the issue is that right now we have no link in any way, shape, or form between a project and then an actual, like where that project is located on the user's computer. So what we need to do is we need to make it so that it's known where that is. So So I'm new to this. I think that sometimes what I like to do is I just like to build and then iterate. So that's what we're doing. All right, link folder. So this is the button. So link folder, this is a little bit more of a manual approach. Folder linked successfully. Okay, so now, okay, yeah, so here it is. So BridgeMind JSON. So you guys see this? So project ID, and then it lists the project ID, okay? So that's cool. But now, okay, great. Now I need to make it so that the user can click into one of the tasks, into one of the task modals, and click a run button. When they click the run button, it opens up a new space, a workspace, and it is automatically CD'd into that respective project directory on their computer, and it will launch Claude code in that directory with a system prompt with that task to complete that task. Yeah, Mike. That's so funny. I did change that. Yeah, I didn't say anything about it, but that's funny that you noticed. I did change it, yeah. If I ever do leak keys, I do not say anything about them. I'm like, oh, I just leaked it. I'll get to it. All right, so what I want to do is I want to make it so that I can go to my workspace, I have my tasks, and I want to be able to click like run, and I want it to open up this task with Claude code in a new workspace. I need you to review all logic associated with our IDE system. I'm talking about updating code, updating files, being able to navigate the file tree of the directory that the user is in, and review this in complete depth. And I want you to identify ways that we can improve this so that it is more modern, integrates best practices, and integrates features that are normal for users to have in an IDE. I need you to launch 10 sub-agents to review this project and then come up with a list of things that we can do to improve this experience. All right, we're gonna launch 10 sub-agents. Okay, let's launch in. So we're gonna go crazy here with Claude for just a second. So let's do another BridgeMind Electron here. All right. All right, hold up here. Let's move the desk up. We need the energy back, guys. All right, I'm at 100. So I'm 50. I'm 56 curls behind you guys. I don't really know much about Automaker. I think that there's a lot of people that are creating like the task board stuff with the Kanban board. I think it's an interesting approach. I know that there's a couple people in the space that do it. In terms of what I'm building here, I'm not interested in what anybody else is doing. I'm more so interested in reverse engineering my vibe coding workflow. So for example, like here with the terminal workspaces, what we've done is I really like Warp. So all I've done here is I've reverse engineered what I like about Warp, right? The ability to build these workspaces, and that's the approach that I'm taking. Is I know I want to build my own agentic coding tool, and I'm going to build it for me. I'm not really interested in what anybody else is doing. I like the tasks. I don't necessarily know what they're doing or how that project's going. I think it's a really cool project. Web Dev Cody is a great guy. But yeah, I'm not really too sure about what that project entails other than, what I, talked to Web Dev Cody about on stream. But I think what they're doing is cool. Okay, let's go to cursor. How's this doing? Okay, this one's still running. Yeah, so Detective Agent said, so it looks up the project ID and the folder path in the database and opens a new workspace and automatically sees and do that path. It should, yes, that's what we're gonna see. This should work so that when I'm able to just click run task, it's gonna be able to open up a new workspace. Let's see here, did this just, all right, hold on, let's restart this. All right, restart. All right, sign in real quick. Okay, so here it is. There is a run button now. So let's create a new task. So let's use the BridgeMind MCP to create a new task real quick. So let's just open up a workspace, CD and desktop, CD into BridgeMind, Claude. I want you to use the BridgeMind MCP to create a new task. The task should be okay. All right, let's knock out some curls while we're waiting for this. All right, so there's the BridgeMind MCP that you guys are seeing. Now it's creating a task. All right, 20. All right, so we're up to 190. Okay, so now if we go back to our Kanban board, that task is created, so improve the styling. So it's gonna add the knowledge of where it's at. So literally, and this is what's great about this MCP is it basically writes the system prompt for you. Now this is what we're testing. Let's click run. I'm assuming that this is not gonna, yeah. So this is the problem. When I clicked run, it just opened up a folder, even though I had the project linked. Why did this happen? Make sure that it's able to properly not have me reopen the folder and select one, but that it immediately is able to open up a new workspace and terminal and run respectively. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the solution is here, so we're just building and iterating until we get it, and then we'll learn what works. That's one great thing about vibe coding is we don't necessarily know the solution yet, but I think that AI will be able to figure out the solution that works. Yeah, we're earning money with ViewCreator.ai. You guys go check it out. Okay, so it says that it finished. Did it even update any code? Okay, I did not. Update the code respectively to integrate an approach that will work. I don't really like Gemini 3 Pro, to be honest. I mean, it is fast, is what I will say. It's fast, but with some of these things, like Opus 4.5 would be able to one-shot, so. Yeah, Sebastian, ViewCreator.ai. Okay, dispatch event. Okay. All right. let's go here, run, still have me open that up. I mean, let's just do what it wants and open one of these up. How about that? Okay. So now that I opened it, it was able to go to that and then give it the task. What's up, Ricks? Okay, so that didn't work. If we go here, what you guys are gonna see is that, I mean, we'll figure out how to make it so that I can just click it and not have to reopen it, but also there's another issue where it's not actually running. So we're gonna use Claude here to see if I can figure out that issue. We'll also open up another tab here, and we're gonna see if we can also figure out the issue with running. So BridgeMind Electron. Review the logic of clicking run task in the task modal. It should be able to open up that respective project without having me reopen the project folder. But when I click run task, it actually has me reopen the folder. That should not happen. It should just be able to immediately know that intuitively from what's in that identity file. All right. Oh, well, that time it actually did it. You guys see that? Why did it do that? You guys notice that? That time I didn't have to run it again. It just did it intuitively. Why? I mean, the BridgeMind JSON stayed the same. I think Claude Code's the best just because of your ability to run sub-agents. You have access to Opus 4.5, which is the best model in a cheap way. I think the Claude Code harness is very good. Claude Code is better right now. It's the best tool for a lot of different reasons. Sup for real. I mean, honestly, I'm just like all in on agentic coding and vibe coding. So if I have problems, if I have bugs, I just go through the AI always, because that's just my workflow. I mean, if it's something like an import statement, I mean, you can do that. But as things have gotten better, it's like it can literally be faster for me to just be able to, for example, if I have an error and my logs are telling me something and I know what it is, sometimes it's better to just give it to Claude. Or give it to whatever tool you're working with. Okay. All right, let's hit some more curls while these agents are running. I'm up to 190, so you guys are about 52 likes ahead of me, so, or 52 curls. All right, 20. Let's go. All right, we're up to 210. How many likes we got? We got 242 likes, so I'm 32 likes behind you guys. I'll catch up. Okay, open the BridgeMind Electron app. Basically wants me to try it again. Let's see. So we didn't have the quote issue, but great, you solved that issue, but it's still not running the Claude, like it's not submitting it, if that makes sense. Like it needs to be able to open it and then automatically open Claude and run it. Who do you think will get the next model out of the big companies? I think that OpenAI, I do think that OpenAI is probably sitting on something good. OpenAI has fallen behind by a lot. I mean, I think until Opus 4.5, which was so much better, like OpenAI was just dominating in general across the board, but you know, that's just changed. So I've got 96 gigs of RAM. I haven't used anti-gravity a ton to be able to give you a good opinion on that or perspective on it. So, you know, I can use anti-gravity more so that I could. But yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot more people talking about anti-gravity, but I personally don't use it a whole lot. So I can't really give that great of a description. Claude 5. I mean, I think that Anthropic is probably going to release something new soon. All right. But it's going to be like a Sonnet model. Okay, so this is big news. Anthropic blocks Claude subscriptions and third-party coding tools. Anthropic announced on January 9th that it would restrict subsidized Pro and Max Claude subscriptions to its official Claude Code tool after detecting third-party apps mimicking authentication to access high-volume limits cheaper than API pricing. Tools like OpenCode, praised for its slick interface and multimodal support, lost access, prompting devs to switch or pay full rates. While Anthropic cites abuse prevention and capacity strain, critics like David Hansen call it customer hostile, with OpenAI quickly adding support and devs migrating to open models. OpenAI, they added support, of course. Yeah, there should be a Sonnet update soon. I expect them to definitely release something from Sonnet soon. It'll probably, I've heard rumors about Sonnet 4.7, but those are all. Hey, this is still not running. I can't even submit. What about this? That is still not working. For example, it's not able to actually launch Claude. Would you search the internet and figure out the best approach for this? Launch 2 sub-agents that will work on this in parallel to be able to get this working. I started building the Electron terminal about like a couple days ago, 4 maybe. All right, when you run that, it should work. Okay, so let's try this. Let's go to ViewCreator, for example, and let's click. Let's go into ViewCreator, and what we'll do here is we're going to connect ViewCreator to this project. Folder linked successfully. Now what we can do is we can open up a new workspace here, workspace 6. We can CD over into ViewCreator. And this is going to be a good test, I think. So we'll CD into ViewCreator, and I'm going to say, let's just launch Claude, and I'm just going to give it this. I'm going to say, I want you to use the BridgeMind MCP and work with the ViewCreator project in my projects, and I want you to review, and then I'm just going to drop in at ViewCreator UI, and launch 5 agents that will review the website and find any places in the website that do not follow the dark and light theme correctly. And I want you to create a task for each instance that does not perfectly follow this theme, and create a new task for each with instructions and knowledge on how to fix it. Use Command Tab. Oh. 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 Man, you guys are awesome. Oh. All right. Let's go. All right, who said that in the chat? I just got taught a new shortcut. All right, shout out to Elon Musk. W's in the chat for him. That's insane. Yeah, I like that. All right, so let's go back here. So this is launching a bunch of agents. Which one was it? Oh, this one was running inside of. Yes, this one's running in. I hope we don't lose this because it is running inside of the BridgeMind Electron app. So I hope we don't lose it. Yeah, shortcuts are helpful. Shift Command Tab. I'm surprised WDan didn't get. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm disappointed, WDan, but yeah, I don't know what to say. I would expect WDan should have. I'm just kidding. All right, so this is it's launched a bunch of these. Go into that folder, and it's gonna be able to create tasks respectively. Okay, cool. This agent, the issue that we're having here is when I do click Run Task, it should be able to like open to the correct directory on my computer, and it should be able to run the task. So I can just go through, create tasks, then in the UI, boom, boom, boom. Instead of having to say go find the tasks, it should just be able to do that automatically. No, 100% WDN. I'm just kidding. Now, but hey, now I appreciate, because now I was actually wondering how I would go the other way. So now I know both. Yeah, that's huge. Let's go. All right. I just don't use Droid. All right, also, we are at 258 likes. I'm at 210 curls, so let's hit some curls, guys. Let's go. Whew, they're getting harder. Let's go. Gonna get jacked. All right. 230. I'm only 32 likes away. Let's go. Whoa. All right, I'm using the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right, we back. What's up? All right, so these agents have completed, they have not yet created their tasks. Okay. Okay. How's this one doing? Still working. Also, quick shout out to newly joined members of our Discord community. Let me pull this up. All right, there's a lot of you guys today, so let me just give you guys a quick shout out. Shout out to Dark Hunter. Shout out to Lil Doza, WWW, Evala, Jordan, Arch, Vibe King, Amit, Certified Man, Merch, Enki, Donna, Quad Scorpion, M&M's, Vaughn. Welcome to the community, guys. I'm happy that you're here. If you haven't already joined the community, make sure you join it. It's in the description down below, as pinned in the chat as well. All right, let's check this out. Compile all theme issues into actionable tasks. Perfect. Thank you. Do I think it's good workflow getting Opus with Claude Pro to do all the planning, then GLM 4.7 to write the code? I don't, honestly. I think that a lot of people think that, like, just because you have the GLM 4.7 is gonna literally write crappier code than if you just had Opus do it. So I know that a lot of people do the planning thing, and they have, other models do the plan. They may have another model, but it's like, hey, for example, if you use some crappy model to write the code, it's gonna write crappy code. So definitely just something to kind of note. All right, did it create the tasks? I don't think it did. Okay. We're not really focused on the IDE yet. But here is the IDE. Schema. I mean, yeah, this is not, okay. Make sure you use the BridgeMind MCP, and in the ViewCreator project, create tasks for each of these tasks respectively. OpenCode's a pretty good budget-friendly tool. You can get a lot of stuff for free over there. This is the BridgeMind IDE that we've been building. Hold on here. Grok Code Fast, WDN says, is probably the best budget option. I need you to review how when a user clicks run task, it's able to pass the task into a new workspace and use Claude to pass the task into Claude. Right now, our current approach does not work properly. Review the current approach and search the internet for different sources of how to do this correctly and update our approach so that it actually works. So right now, what happens is if I go here, right, and I go to our task board, let's say I want this task right here, I click run. Yeah, there's a couple issues with this, but it's passing in this, for example, right here. So Claude P. So this is not correct here because I can't enter this, right? So like even if I go to warp, and I just pass this in warp, is this gonna launch Claude? No, it's not. So we need to figure out what the exact implementation actually is and do that. Right now we're building BridgeMind. So we built our Stripe integration earlier in the stream, and now what we're trying to get working is, if we go over here and we go to this Kanban board, we have these tasks, right? And the MCP is able to create the tasks, so we're able to use agent to agent, agent to system to be able to create these tasks. But the biggest issue that we're now having is that when I click run, it's not properly passing that task, and we need to make sure that that does work. Right now it doesn't, but it's just because it's not. Is there a way for us to pass in an existing prompt? Like launch Claude, not just with Claude, but to be able to pass in the prompt. I don't think that the command that we're using right now is working. I mean, we can even look this up. Like, let's just copy this, right? And let's pull up Claude. And we can even ask Claude, like, hey, why is this not working as intended, right? So let's pull this up. Let's go here. Why, when I am running this in a terminal, is it not launching Claude with this prompt? What is the correct command? So let's see if we can kind of reverse engineer what the actual correct command for it would be. Also, we are at 23,267 subscribers. Shout out to you guys, really appreciate it. All right. The P flag is correct for print mode. So let's test this. That also did not work. Give me something that I can paste in and test. Ace Tari said it looks like it's trying to use Gemini's P function to run the command in headless mode. Don't know if Claude has the same P argument. Yeah, that doesn't work. It doesn't work, so... Yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, wait, that actually did work. Look at the screenshot to see what happened. This is not really the intended behavior, because what I want it to do is I want to be able to launch this task with a command and then be working in a Claude Code terminal to continue the work. Is there a way to do that? Search the internet to see if there's a way to do this. Well, noob, it's not that, well, now we know that, right? So the thing that I'm wanting it to do is not that I'm like impatient, it's that it should be launching it in a window where, like, it should be like a window like this, where, when I launch Claude, I just have Claude right here. So, oh, the P flag is print mode. To start an interactive session with an initial prompt, It just says to drop the P. So drop the P, and it won't be in print mode. So let's try this. Let's CD into BridgeMind. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, nice. Okay, so we got it. That's perfect. Let's go. All right. So that's all that was needed. Great work. I now need you to write the prompt to another AI that explains what you did and how it needs to update the code to get it working as intended, because this did work. So we're gonna have this write the system prompt back to Gemini, and then we'll have Gemini update this. So what did this one even update anyway? I don't think this one... Okay. So I do have a prompt, so we're just going to be able to launch this now. We'll launch another agent. Go here. And then I will do BridgeMind Electron. All right, cool. So this agent, focusing on this. Also, I do need to hit some curls. Let's move the desk up. We're at 280 likes. I am at 230 curls. So you guys are staying a little bit ahead of me. I got to catch up. Yeah, the P flag is in all shell cases, so yeah. All right, there we go, 20. I'm 30 behind you guys. I'm gonna catch up. I mean, if I can't catch up, the stream will just never end. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but... All right, so let's test this out now. Let's go to the Electron app. Let's pull this up. Let's go here, and let's go here. Run this. Now we're having that... that's good. So here it is. Improve the styling of the setting page in BridgeMind Electron. Now, the issue here is that it's opening up the wrong project, okay? All right, so we need to screenshot all this. Go here. So the following issue that I'm getting is that it's opening up and launching the task in the wrong terminal. So for some reason, it's launching it not in the project that I linked it to, but in another project. Would you review how we're doing this? So for example, when I click run task, it's launching it in the wrong project directory. Pinpoint exactly why this is happening. It launched it in the wrong one. Something is off. Review the code in depth and pinpoint and diagnose exactly why this is happening, as I did link the project in the correct part of the code base, but when I click run task, it ran it in ViewCreator instead of BridgeMind. Why did this happen? Diagnose why, pinpoint exactly why this happened, and then update the code accordingly to fix this issue. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, warp cursor and BridgeMind. All right. Yeah. So, like, one thing just in general, so I can see the issue clearly from your screenshot. The task is associated with the BridgeMind project, but it's running in desktop ViewCreator. Let me diagnose the root cause by examining the handle run task function. So this is like one big thing is whenever you're doing vibe coding, you always have to be mindful of dropping in all the tasks that's needed for a particular issue. So for example, hey, when you're doing a lot of vibe coding or agentic coding, and if you do that, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. You have to know when to give which context and what's needed to be able to complete a task, right? So I knew intuitively, okay, if I drop in these screenshots of these key parts of the issue that I'm having, it's going to be able to diagnose that. Now, we could test this out in debug mode in Cursor to see what the issue is. I do use Playwright, but this is an Electron app. I don't use LinkedIn myself. All right. Also, guys, just a reminder, if you have not already joined the Discord, make sure you do so. We're only 11 members away from 2,900. It looks like we're going to hit 3,000 members here soon, which is awesome. Let's go. Let's go. What skills do I recommend for Claude Code to build backend Python? I mean, I can't name any off the top of my head, but they're out there for sure. Okay, so let's test this again. So now if I go to BridgeMind and I click Run Task, ooh. Now it's having me reopen it. Shit, you don't like. Now it is having me reopen the directory instead of it going to the correct directory intuitively. I already went through the process of linking, so I'm not sure why this would be happening. Yeah, so the application just produces revenue, so people subscribe. The most popular plan is the Pro plan. I think people like to try it out. I think we have 7 Ultra plan users, which is nice because that's $350 MRR per month of people on Ultra, so that's nice. Pro, we're getting close to 1,000 MRR, so I'm happy about ViewCreator. We will be working on it right now. Just to kick off the start of the year, I wanted to work on BridgeMind, build that out a little bit so that we have another revenue driver, and we'll move forward. And I have a lot planned for this series, I'll say. I think that by the end of the year, the mission may be complete. We'll see. I am not on Upwork, no. All right, let's hit some girls, guys. I'm at 250. We've got 209 likes, so I'm 40 behind. Let's go. It's so many curls, guys. Let's go. All right, 20. Let's go. All right, we're up to 270. 270. Okay, is this now done? Let's see. So when I click run, you should just be able to, come on. Yeah, so maybe... Yeah, this is still not working. Would you write a handoff prompt to another AI that perfectly explains the issue? Oh. Yeah. So you guys see that? It's 20 pounds. All right, so here's what we're gonna try. We are going to try cursor debug mode again. but it failed twice on Claude Code Opus 4.5. So what we're going to do is we're going to write a handoff prompt. We're going to give it to Opus 4.5. We're going to put it in debug mode, and we're going to see if Cursor can get to the bottom of this. Jesse, what's up? So right now, we've completed our Stripe integration, we've completed our onboarding flow, and really what we wanted to get done today is we're trying to get this agent flow done where I can just go in here and, for example, you know, I'm able to go to the app and I can click on one of these tasks and I can just click run, and it's able to launch a new workspace with a new Claude instance and run it. But we are having an issue with that, so we'll see. We'll get to it in a second. Okay, so let's drop in this handoff prompt here. Okay, so this is in debug mode. I have tried anti-gravity. I'm not a huge fan. I feel like anti-gravity, if you're on a budget, it's good. I don't know why, if you don't have like a super tight budget, why you would be using anti-gravity, in my opinion. So I don't use it personally. All right, we have to catch. I'm gonna catch up, guys. I need to do more curls while we're in debug mode. All right, so here are the hypotheses, which is really interesting. All right, 15. I think. I'm like 90% sure that was 15. All right, 285. Oh, let's go. I caught up to you guys. All right, and this is the thing about debug mode. So this is the first time that we've actually used debug mode. So you guys can see it basically is setting up logs so that it has a feedback mechanism so that it can debug it better. So it makes hypotheses of why it's not doing it, project ID mismatch, set project path not being called. So it basically said, hey, here is what could potentially be wrong, right? And now it's gonna be able to say, hey, recreate the issue, and then it's gonna have the feedback mechanism that it needs to be able to diagnose exactly what's wrong. So this is a new mode in Cursor that I used for the first time today, and very interesting for sure. All right, we just passed 300 likes. Thank you, guys. Let me hit another 10 to 15. All right, so I need to restart the Electron app, navigate to the Kanban board. So literally you have to reproduce the error in debug mode. This is really interesting. All right, let's hit another 5 and then I'm fully caught up. Let's go. All right, I'm at 300 curls. That's huge. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is, I have to reproduce this issue. So I'm gonna go to warp. I'm gonna go to npm. I'm gonna run npm run start here. We're gonna reopen the Electron app. We're gonna sign in. All right, open Electron back up. Let's now go to the Kanban board, link folder, wanted me to link it, desktop, BridgeMind, open, folder linked, here, boom. Well, that actually did work. So, all right, well, it worked, so I don't know. I mean, it literally worked that time, so I don't know if we even need to fix anything. I'm just gonna mark it fixed because it worked. So maybe there'll be another issue that we have with that, but Knowledge isn't being passed through, but that's an easy fix, Dan. I did notice that, but that's like, to me, that's an easy, like, we can just do that right now. Yeah, I just knew that's not gonna be an issue. When users are clicking run task, knowledge is not being passed in at all. I need you to make sure that the knowledge is passed through when clicking running task. Okay. But yes, thank you, Dan. Let's make sure that that gets passed through. So, okay, so we're gonna cancel this. But you guys can see, that worked. So, let's go here. I want you to use the BridgeMind MCP to create a new task associated with updating the styling of the account page or account screen in the Electron apps settings. Create a new task for this with the instructions and knowledge needed to complete the task. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting with agentic coding. It's obvious that it's the future. I don't think that there's really an argument against it at this point. There's definitely drawbacks of it, but the rate that the industry is moving, it's like more and more. It's interesting because the hate has gone down quite a bit. I used to get a lot more hate because I think people are just realizing that, yeah, I mean, AI is obviously going to take over the space. So, you know, I wouldn't worry too much about, you know, what people are saying about, you know, vibe coding or agentic coding. It's pretty obvious at this point that this is the way that things are headed. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that, hey, once you get to the point where you have results from agentic coding, I think that that's when it's like, hey, you just don't have much of an argument, right? So people that are talking bad about vibe coding or agentic coding, the thing is that it's just, you know, you've been proved wrong. So it's like, I mean, you can be the people that doubt the internet. You can be the people that doubt these things, but I don't think it's going to do you much good. All right. So here is our task. So this now should be able to drop in not only the instructions, but also the knowledge. So here's the instructions, and then here's the knowledge. So let's run this, and you guys can see that it's able to pass in the instructions. I don't know how I feel about this dropping in this initially. You guys can see that it takes a second, and then it actually, you know, starts the Claude session. So you guys can see that there. Dang, apparently Anthropic wrote code 100% with AI. That's insane. Is OpenCode plus GLN 4.7 free any good? I mean, you're not going to see me use it in my workflow. Just that, you know, for me, Opus 4.5 with Claude Code is obviously like the best workflow for me personally. But if you're on a budget and you need an affordable model, GLN 4.7 or Minimax M 2.1, using OpenCode, the free, you know, with OpenCode Zen, that's probably going to be your best option right now. So that's, you know, why I have, you know, talked about that quite a bit in like videos and on stream, is that, yeah, I mean, that's a great way if you're on a budget and you want to save money, or you want to have access to models and not spend a bunch of money. Definitely OpenCode. I mean, let's launch OpenCode in a new workspace. Let's go and we can CD into desktop, CD into BridgeMind, and then CD into OpenCode, or not just launch OpenCode, but you know, OpenCode. So you have OpenCode Zen. Let's just go to models. So you have OpenCode Zen. You have Minimax 2.1. You have Big Pickle, Grok Code Fast 1. This is the one that WDAM was talking about, so Grok Code Fast is a good option as well. But, all right, we're at 316 likes. Let me hammer out another 16 curls. I'm at 300. All right, guys. So I have somewhere I need to be. So I'm gonna have to jump off the stream. But we did get the Stripe integration working. We got the onboarding flow, and then we did get the agent flow working. Now, I do think that there are some improvements that we need to make with that agent flow, but you can see now that we can actually pass those tasks off in this second workspace here. You can see this one was able to update that code. So I feel good about that. Like if we go to that task, it was this one here, and look at that. It was able to update the styling. So that is better. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna sign off. I've got somewhere I need to be. We hit 316 curls. We had 316 likes. So with that being said, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you guys probably on Monday. So thanks for tuning in. See you guys.